All right, guys, we are live. Speaking of being live, D, you need to make me up a new intro with our show name on it.
Oh, you need a new one.
Yeah, put our
What's
truck and
wrong with
shit show on it.
what's oh
What's that?
oh? That's what you want to add to it.
Oh yeah, it's the show, man.
Uh,
It's what we do
I
our
got
lives with. I need that.
I got you, brother.
All right, guys, we are live. As you can tell, special guest tonight is Trucker Todd. Say hi, Trucker Todd.
Hello, everybody.
I know it's going out to your channel. It's going out to 18's channel. It's going out to my channel. So we should have some people up tonight.
Let me double
Let's
check.
see
Make sure
here.
it is going out to my channel.
Yeah, you sure should. Had a lot of people make some comments here, and I'll go through them here in just a minute. As everybody can tell, I'm at home, Todd's at home, and Dee's at home. Well, Todd's not at home. He's got his fancy piano in the background.
Yeah, let's see. Where am I? I don't want you to see my messy truck. It's bad in here because I just left the house. Let's see. There we
That did
go.
not stream it to my
You can
phone.
put up
So
whatever background you want. It's no big deal. So let's talk about. Let's start off. Let's talk about what's been going on this week for you, Todd. We'll start off with you first, and then we'll kind of circle back around to me.
So went home for Thanksgiving. Got there a couple of days earlier than what I planned. I booked kind of a short load running down to Midland to kind of keep me busy. Then did the Thanksgiving thing and had two loads fall through on Friday that I was planning to do. So I ended up leaving out Sunday. This morning actually, and just got a little short hop over to Tyler, and then I was going to book something else, but I'm kind of waiting on this place because they online it says they're kind of slow to unload, and I don't want to get myself in trouble, so I'll just book something in the morning. Plus, Monday mornings there's usually a lot of loads that drop on the load board, so it's a better opportunity to find stuff. But how was everybody's Thanksgiving, by the way?
Uh,
it was pretty decent. Enjoyed it with the family. With the family, got some really nice food. Other than that, it was pretty decent.
yeah, mine was. I was out and about. I didn't come home. I didn't come home until Saturday, and that's where I'm at now. Home. Actually, was it Saturday? Was it yesterday or was it today? It was Saturday when I came home and just kind of spending some time with the family here. And I just actually had my Thanksgiving turkey just a few minutes ago. Pretty good. Um, had a really nice load bringing me to the house. Got to deliver it at 6 a.m. in the morning. Uh, Paying really good. It's almost like 350 a mile, all miles. So it was worth it to come home. And speaking of which, D, that's something me and you really need to look at because it's really paying really well right now to come home to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And we know it's a kind of a wash going out, but if you can make 3 grand coming home like I did, and then making $700 or $800 going out, it might not be a bad trip doing that 2 or 3 times a week and make some money. And, at least come home at least once or twice a week doing this.
Well, it all depends as well too when those loads are going out.
Yep,
When we coming in, when we going out. But yeah.
that's what I'm going to try and do this week. I'm going to talk to my agent, plate manager, whatever you want to call him. I'm going to call him here in the morning and tell him that's what I'd like to do because it's going to be a short week for me because technically my week's not really going to start until Tuesday the way it worked out. So I'm going to have to
Mm-hmm.
hustle for 4 days to make up some ground. All right, so let me read some of these comments that we got going on. Roger Berry says he'll have to watch the rerun. Hope all is well and safe. Colder. I'm not going to read all that. Colder than a well digger's behind in here in Kentucky. Robbie Ross says he's in Weatherford, Texas. Becca says hello, everybody. Black Clover Trucking. Hey, Todd. Hopped back over to the trucking channel. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. It wasn't too bad. Wish I could have been better, but hopefully things will start picking up for us here soon. Might be off the subject. I think I already read that one to you, Todd. Give another review on SRO.
Yeah, we'll
Mike B.
probably talk about them later tonight.
Okay, we can definitely do that. Mark Ely says, "What's up, everybody?" My wife says hello, Todd, and me. That was before you got in there, 18. Let me see. Hey, Mark. Hopefully the Wi-Fi cooperates with him tonight. Talking about Clover Trucking. Keith was a little upset. Says you're going live tonight. I'm not going to go another week without the shit show. Get together, boys. And Black Clover Trucking says they're at the Loves in Stafford, Missouri. I'm very familiar with that one. Jonah Green, good evening. Good evening, Jonah Green. Landon Martin, what's up, Mr. Todd? Mike B, good. Merrill Wood is back. Hey, I have a question with SFI. Am I allowed to choose which truck I want? I prefer a 22 or 23 Cascadia. Yes, you are. Burgundy or gray. Yes, you have total control over that. You just got to get with your SFI guy. Do you have an SFI agent yet, Merrill? He says, I've never seen you not in your truck, James. Yeah, that's true. This is the first video that I've done at the house. I've never done one at the house. It's good to see you, Trucker Todd, he says. Red Raider Reloading is on here. Hello, Todd, James, and Life on 18. Alaska Hall's on here. What's going on tonight, Alaska? Where is Country at? Country is doing his own show now. Not that we left on bad terms or anything. He's doing his own show. Him and KO are doing a show, and that's something he's always wanted to do. This was more of a, I guess, kind of a practice run for him when he came to our show. And, he's all fine and dandy. We talk every day or so. Everything's good with him. Black Clover Trucking and Becca are both the same. Okay.
Are they
Did you
team
know that?
driving in the same truck? I did not know that.
I didn't either. Okay. And Meryl, yes, her name is Robin. Okay, Meryl. So I'd give Robin a call and tell her what you got going on. Tell her that that's what you want.
You forgot how to throw those comments up there, man.
Huh?
On the you forgot how to throw the comments up on the screen.
Oh no, it's so many. I was going through them real quick, and then we will. Here's the last one.
Okay.
Avoid 2023 Cascadias. They're in the dealer most of the time instead on the roads. What
Why
garage
should they
works?
avoid them? Like, what's the issue with them? Let us know. Like, what's going on with the 23 Cascadias?
All right, so let's see. Michael Cabanis says hello, guys. Evening. How's your Cascadia holding up, Todd?
So far, so good. I haven't had any problems really to speak of, other than just normal stuff. I had a tire that was a little low. I had to air up today, but nothing newsworthy to report. I haven't had any breakdowns or anything like that.
Mayor Wood says, got to get used to these sensors on the truck now. I'm with the Russians. This truck doesn't have any sensors. I can tailgate someone and nothing would trigger. So, Meryl, you're with the Russians right now. That's not a good sign. You need to get away from them guys as much as you can. Black Clover says, no, both are run by my wife. We don't team drive. So basically, they're running two separate trucks then.
Ah, okay.
Okay. That's pretty nice. I like that logo they got there. That's pretty cool.
That is a good logo, isn't it?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
logo
it's
is
pretty
pretty
nice.
hard, man. Yeah, I like
A
that.
couple of years a couple of years ago, I used to talk to a couple that ran separate trucks. Are y'all the ones that I talked to a couple of years ago that were running separate trucks?
Truck is ungoverned too. Going to miss it. Well, just to let you know, the SFI trucks don't have governors on them either. So you won't be missing that because that's one of the good things.
Yeah, I kind of missed it. I kind of miss not having a governed truck.
So garage, anything and everything, transmission issues, blown radiators, warped heads. Engineers spend a lot of time at the dealers doing the research and development with the 23 Cascadias.
When did anybody know when they came out with the DD15 Gen 5? Was that 23, 24, 22? Because
Yeah.
that's what's currently in the new Cascadias right now, and I've had the 24, and I didn't really have any problems with it. Just ran like an old Toyota pickup truck, you know. So
Yeah, I mean
yeah, what
when you
year
talk,
truck did you get, Todd?
Uh, do what? I didn't hear that last thing you said.
What year is your truck?
This one's a 19.
19. So I think you still have the DD15 before they did a little bit of upgrades to them.
Yeah, I actually think the guy I bought the truck from said it was a 13, a DD13, but I haven't got out and looked because you got to
Do you
climb
have a
on top
short
of the
hood or you have like a regular hood?
just a regular hood.
I think you got the regular hood, then you probably have the DD15 because the DD13s come with that shorter hood.
Yeah, the only place I ever saw the really short hoods was at Dart. They had some Freightliner Cascadias with the really short hoods. I thought they looked
Yeah,
funny.
yeah, they do look funny, but those usually have the DD13s in them.
I got you.
Could be wrong though. You don't know.
so when you talk Freightliner and you talk DD13 and all that compared to Cummins, it's like Apple and Android, two different things.
Yeah.
So Keith's got a good question for you
More
there,
like
18.
more like PlayStation and PC. You know.
Keith wants to know: are you local since you went to Landstar 18, or you're full time in the office?
Man, no, I am not low time in the office. Y'all gotta get off my case with this thing, man. Listen, I got my truck back, okay, guys. I finally have my truck back. It's hooked up to my trailer. I'm getting out of here next week, okay. I already have my loads booked already. I'm getting out of here. I'm heading up to the Midwest. I'm heading down to Texas afterwards, man. I know you guys been riding me for a long time about this truck, but it's out of the shop. She's good. No problems, no issues. Only thing I probably gotta do is change them tires because, like I said, I got recap tires, and it seems like they're pretty worn, like flat spotted in some areas. So I got the little shakes going on. So other than that, like I said, I'm good to roll. So I'll be
All
out of
right.
here.
So Michael says none of my trucks are governed either. Black Clover says no. Both YouTube accounts are ran by my wife, and we only have one person with her CDL. Hush.
Yeah, I
But
just figured out who they were. I've never met them in person, but I've talked to them before. They actually worked at B&Z and were actually one of the people that their videos led me to go there, and they ended up leaving having a bad experience, and so I left shortly after they did as well. My experience wasn't terrible. I just thought the dispatching at B&Z was terrible.
Well, I'm glad that they're here tonight with us in the audience. So it's
Yeah,
pretty
they're
cool.
good people.
so Pop Tart, you're asking where country is. Just like I said a little bit ago, you probably just jumped in. Nothing's wrong with Country. He's still going to come on the show from time to time, but him and KO wanted to do their own show, and this was kind of a test run for him at the beginning, anyways. Me and Country are fine. We talk every day or every other day, and I know D talks to him quite a bit too. So nothing bad there. He's all good. So just like you said, hubby used to work at B&Z before they terminated his contract. So DD13s have an oil stick up too high. DD15 is closer to the truck frame. So that's how you find out which motor you have.
Yeah, I would describe it as kind of in the middle. So
Hang
somebody
on.
else in the later comments says it's down on the door jamb. I'm tempted to go look real quick.
Where did he go? This is the first time he's doing live at home, so it
Yeah,
must be a new experience for him. He just up
he's
and down
he's got a
disappeared
nice
on us.
house though.
Oh
Look at
Lord.
that Red Bull cooler back there. It's a nice place.
I used to have a monster refrigerator that I sold years ago, and we found that one on, I don't know, Marketplace or something. And I mean, shoot, I think it was only like $100, and I had to get it. You can find some good stuff on Marketplace.
Uh-huh.
All right. So Michael says all your truck info should be in the driver's door jam. So we should have some on the road content next week, 18, right?
Yes, I have. I worked on something this morning. I'm
KO
still
said he
working
wouldn't
on
hold
it.
his breath.
Listen, you tell KO to go kick rocks, okay? I got something for you guys. It's coming. All right, just give me about 2 days. Give me about 2 days. Okay, it's not done with
That's
everybody.
funny.
If it's not there
I'm
by Tuesday, then it'll be there Wednesday
I'm
morning.
surprised they're not getting after me. I haven't put out content in over 2 months. I got to get something
Yeah,
together.
because nobody's worrying about you. You're not entertaining. Nobody's worried about you. We got
I hear
lives,
you.
and that's all we got going
I
on.
hear you. I hear you. But everyone been talking crazy about Schneider. I'm scared now.
Hey, Schneider's been
Um,
on the move, man. They just acquired another company. Um,
well, he's talking about just the load board and stuff. I think
Low boards is something else. You know,
Schneider's always got stuff going on. Country's the one you want to talk to about the Schneider stuff.
absolutely.
He, I don't know. I can't comment on Schneider anymore. It's been so long since I was there. Was you gonna say something, Todd?
Yeah, but I don't remember what it was. I'll circle back around to it.
So Black Clover says I hijacked my wife's phone. It's the hubby's currently chatting with you. Okay.
So they reminded me of something. Yeah, I did have something. Uh,
Yeah.
I've got a guy that's looking for a company driver job out of the Kentucky or Southern Texas area. He he's had quite a few jobs in the last couple of years, so he's had trouble finding employment. Do y'all know of a good? He's willing to do flatbed even. Do y'all know of a good company for a guy like that wants to be a company driver?
There. What part of Kentucky does he live at? Do you know?
That I don't know. We talked briefly about it last week, and I told him when I got on here I'd mention it to y'all.
If he wants
How
to
about
do, I mean,
that
if he wants to
Patchell
do
Truck Lines,
flatbed,
PTL,
PTL.
Patchell or whatever?
I mean,
They're
there's
out of like
Okay.
Shelton.
Owensboro. I don't know anything about
If he
them,
wants
but
to do flatbed, I mean, TSH, Tennessee Steel Haulers, I believe, is in that in that general area right there.
Have you heard
Shelton.
good things about them,
Uh,
TSH?
I mean, I've seen them around a lot, especially in that general area right there. But I've yet to hear anything negative really about it. But there's always a YouTube video out there if they really want to learn a little bit more.
wow.
But if he wants to
Yeah.
do, yeah, if he wants to do
I already
flatbed,
told him.
that'll be the play right there. Um, there's Shelton as well too. I mean, if he wants to, you can go watch Life with KO's channel. He's doing flatbed with Shelton as well too, and they do have company drivers over there. So if that's something that he might be interested in, um, that might be the play.
Oh, okay. Well, I think he's watching, so he'll see what y'all said.
Okay. So Pop Tart says I use both DD13 and 15. The 15 is the 60 series replacement. That was a good engine. That was probably one of the best engines ever made. Was the 60 series.
Hey,
Hmm.
Pop Tart, I got a question for you. Do you see like any significant like difference with the DD13 and the DD15 in terms of pulling power? What's the
So
next
somebody
question?
said something to you, Todd, and they're not putting their name on here for some reason. So this might be a troll. It says, "Hey Todd, sorry if I got you in trouble. I called Scott today to ask questions. I will be joining the team soon. So excited! I was really dreading staying here at Schneider."
So that was going to be my question. How did you get me in trouble, and who is this, so that I'll know who you are when you come to SRO?
Yeah, I would have thought the same thing. How you getting them in trouble if you're joining the team as well too? I mean,
It's pretty hard to get me in trouble.
So Pop Tart says she's a Detroit pre-emissions girl because they're literally the cheapest ones to work on, and parts are readily available anywhere in the country. That I agree with.
hey, Detroit's
I
pretty
agree.
decent, man. There's a
And
reason why everybody wants to put a 60 series and everything that they got.
so Michael says KW, that's where it's located. He's talking about the engine and everything being on the door, Jim. Red Raider said, Todd, did you make it home for Thanksgiving?
Yes, sir. I was there almost a week and didn't plan to be, but I came back out today. I picked up a load in Abilene, and I'm running over to Tyler, Texas at 7 in the morning.
Schneider's load board is shit, according to Garage Works. Pop Tart says her favorite is a 6NZ Cat. It's just something about the sound of the pipes. Those are the guys that you're talking about that come into the truck stops with their jakes on in the middle of the night and wake you up. Whoa, whoa,
Doing
whoa, whoa,
three.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Don't forget they're doing about 3 miles to the gallon with that thing, but it
Well, that and
sure
they're doing
sounds
about three
pretty.
miles an hour to look good too. Merrill Wood says, "I'll replace Landstar with Mercer." As far as emissions go, engine, I'm going with our Cummins engines. Yeah, I agree with you there. I'm a Cummins person too. See everybody, there's Country. Hello, Country. What's going
Country
on,
right
buddy?
there in the chat. How you
Hey,
doing, brother?
country.
Watched the show last night.
Wait, there
Keith
was a show
Crowd.
last night.
Yeah, they did a show last night.
Nobody never tells me anything. I'll just be
Well,
missing out.
Saturday nights, buddy, 7 o'clock. That's what he's doing. Keith
I had to
says
put it in
mine
my
is
calendar.
Acert Pop Tart, but I get love for the 6NZ. I don't know the Acert. Do you, Todd?
Do what?
Acert. Mine is the Acert Pop Tart. Talk about engines. I don't know what
The
an
Acer,
Acer is.
the Caterpillar Acer engine.
Is it?
I've heard the
Okay.
name. Yeah, it's a Caterpillar
I'm not
engine.
familiar with it.
Yeah, it's going back way before my time. Meryl says I recommend Punjabi. white
You got
white
some jokesters
Volvo.
in the
but
White
chat
Volvo
tonight,
but
man.
Mafia.
don't you have to own a pair of flip flops to work there?
Then you got to have the dingleberries.
You guys are terrible.
18's got them in his truck. Don't laugh, 18. You got them in yours.
What do I have in my truck?
The dingleberries hanging off the windshield.
I have no clue what a dingleberry is, but I sure do got
Okay.
a pair of flip
uh,
flops in there.
Red Raider Reloading says, for those that drive and have issues, what type of extra seat cushion would you recommend? Thanks in advance.
If you
Back
got
issue.
some money, you can upgrade, get you one of them legacy seats with the back scratcher, massager, and all that good stuff in it.
wow, a back scratcher. I might be in on that.
I don't know about all that noise. Of course, 18 probably has something that scratches something else, knowing him.
Oh
So
Lord have
he
mercy.
says, "What's up, country? I just watched your video before coming here." Yeah, him and KO's got something good going on, guys. Y'all need to sit down and make sure you're following his stuff. They're put in some good content too.
I'm feeling left out here, man.
ISX Cummins 15 and the X15 Cummins. That's what I have. Is X15.
The
Uh,
CX-15.
he always recommends Maverick for flatbed. Merrill
Maverick's a
says.
pretty decent company as well too. Yeah, they do yeah, the flatbed. They do a lot of glass work as well too. And I
Michael
think
says.
they're all percentage, not cent per mile.
Michael
That's
says
for
my
the cheaper
brother
ones.
guy is looking for help, but he's out of Idaho. That's an interesting one. So I don't know anybody out of Idaho, but southeastern Kentucky is what Black Clover says. So
Yeah,
south.
that's the guy that's looking for a job for a company driver job. So he's answering your question that he's in southeastern Kentucky.
Yeah, I don't know who. I don't know who. I don't know who would be good for that. Honestly, here's your boy Ramon saying, "Hey
Hey,
Todd."
Ramon. He's a cool dude. I'm glad he's here tonight.
Um, Red Redder reloading. Todd, don't you need help getting into trouble?
Amen, brother. I seem to be like a trouble magnet.
So Pop Tart says the Acert is an MBN bridge motor off the 6NZ. But she's pretty intelligent with the motors. I thought I was pretty up there with motors, but she's in there. I was kind of joking. He asked where I heard from the company from. I mentioned your YouTube series. This is Kevin, by the way. I'm still in research phase. Also have to pay SNI to lease onto. Kevin. You know who
Hey,
Lease
Kevin is?
on the
Kevin.
SRO.
I don't
I
know who
wonder how
Kevin
much
is. Oh, go ahead, 18.
yeah, real quick, I just wanted to I'm just curious at how much he's paying S&I just to move that truck over to SRO. No, it can't be cheap.
So I was just going to tell Kevin that he can email me at todd@truckertodd.net and I can answer any questions that he's got about SRO. Um, the one thing I'll tell you that my experience has been with SFI, I'm assuming that's what he meant instead of SNI. is sometimes the transfer fees to come to a small company can be pretty exorbitant. So just be aware of that and research that. But yeah, I'd be happy to answer any questions. If you want to contact me at Todd at SRO, I'm not, good grief, I don't even know my email. Scott's is safety at srologistics.com. Mine is Todd at truckertodd.net.
So, guys, while we're sitting here, I'm going to read some more comments, but give us, I've only got one thumbs up throughout this whole thing. Give us all thumbs up on all of our channels if you're watching. Pop Tart says, yes, the 13 and 15 are different. It's pulling, the 15 comes out of the factory pretty good. Gary Cook says, I'm driving for Advanced Trucking. I've been here a while. I have a 2020 Cascadia, an old prime truck, running power only. USA Truck doing very well. So Gary, that's I remember him on your show not no more than a couple months ago, and he was talking about getting out of it. You remember that?
I do.
So he went to Advanced Trucking and is having pretty good success out of it, huh? That's
Yeah,
pretty
he
cool.
It's one of those Chicago companies too.
No, they're out of Indianapolis.
Oh, okay.
but there are two deals.
That's where your boy, the cruise ship guy, where he went to and failed. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly. What you're
I can't think what his name right off the top of my head is. I don't want to. Here's the thing, and I don't know if I told you this, but I don't want to say anybody's names or channels on here anymore because I guess a name got back to somebody about I said something to this and that. I'm not going to get into that crap. I didn't say anything bad about anybody, nor will I, and it doesn't matter anyways. It was an opinion.
It's the internet, people. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
Come on, it's the internet.
I'm not into that. So here's what we're going to do from here on out. We're not going to bring anybody's YouTube channels up. We're not going to give anybody's preference about anything other than the people we know.
Todd, you were
Michael,
going to say something?
hey Todd,
Yeah.
did you have something you were going to talk about?
If I did, I don't remember. It'll come back to me.
We're going to circle back to it. You're going to be like Peppermint Patty that was in.
Yeah, we'll circle around.
Yeah, we'll circle back. Rebuild kits are harder to get a hold of times. Ramon says, hey, Todd, what's up? So you got your boy Ramon on there. He was your first subscriber, wasn't he?
He was the first channel member.
That's right.
He's a real, there's a lot of talk about the border and all that. He was actually a Cuban immigrant that came here the legal way, and he's got a really interesting story. He's a good guy. I'm going to bring him on my channel at some point and interview him because his story and his opinions on life are pretty interesting.
I think he'd be a good guy to bring on then, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Pop Tart says the A-Cert is a double turbo C15. Now that sounds like an awesome engine there. Double turbo.
Twin turbo.
Legacy seats are for back issues.
Oh, I love legacy seats, but they're expensive.
No, they cost a nice pretty penny, man.
Pop Tart says it's the latest model.
You can get Bostrom seats as well too. Those are another pretty decent brand as well.
Pop Tart says it's the latest model off the 6NZ. It's a bridge motor. It's called the MBN. So here you go. Here's an Idaho company for you. Idaho Systems Transport, according to Glenn Ferguson. She posted the new CX.
Potatoes.
She says she posted the new CX-15 Cummins. It's the heavy-duty one built for heavy hauling. Very strong engine. I posted 3 of them yesterday. Huh, okay.
I got to go check your channel out.
I do too. Idaho Falls has Doug Andrus Distribution, Kilpack Transport, and Western Transport, and a couple others. There you go, guys. Bless says, come to my company, 90% flatbed lease purchase. Feel free to put your company name out there.
What's the name of your company? Put your company name out there.
It's looking like $10,000 to move, especially since Snyder doesn't directly deal with SRO. Yeah, they quoted me that close to that area too, but I've had my truck for a little bit. Mine wasn't going to be quite as much, but still, it's a big note. Good night, y'all. I've got some business. Going to be safe out there. Sorry to cut it short. Good night, Pop Tart. Good night, Pop Tart.
Good night, Pop Tart.
Ramon says he's got a friend that has a 98 Pete 379 M14 red top, 600 horsepower, 336 rears, 18 speed at 3.5 miles a gallon. Now
Wow.
he's burning some fuel on that one.
That's
Try
Tracked
trucking
anything
from the
everything
that,
bed
except
truck.
3.5.
yeah. Try anything that has gel in its making. He says, Trucker Todd, now that you're back with SRI, you're going to back to weekly lives.
So that's the plan. A lot of people don't know this, but me and Fly Rabbit's been trying to schedule this for a few weeks now, and I've had to cancel on him a couple of times in the last minutes. And so I'm just trying to get everything back to like it was before. And when I feel like I can make a good commitment to y'all and tell you exactly when the lives are going to be, then we'll get back to them. I'd love to do them Tuesdays and Thursdays again, but we're just going to have to. I want to make sure I can do it. And right now, everything's been so crazy that I just haven't had the time, but it's coming soon. I promise you.
I tell you what, I'm kind of glad that it got pushed back a little bit because I was out of commission for the last couple of weeks. So
Yeah.
I'm finally able to make it onto a live, and I'm glad I didn't miss out the Trucker Todd live special tonight, man,
Uh,
because that would have sucked. I'm not gonna lie
So
to you guys.
let's back up to this. Let's go with little schoolgirl having an infatuation here a little bit. So Todd, 18 has been wanting to get and talk to you for a long time. Matter of fact, he wants to interview you for his podcast. So
we can definitely do that when he gets ready. I really want to understand my schedule a little better first,
Hmm.
and I say that knowing that I book my own loads and stuff. But as soon as things level out, I'll go on people's shows and I'll try to do lives once or twice a week. I've been putting out 2 to 3 recorded videos a week, but I'm noticing that people kind of like a little bit of both. They want a couple of lives and a couple of recorded, but the people that want it don't realize how time consuming they are,
Yeah, very time consuming, man.
and so I will get them out. It's just I don't want to overload myself and commit to more than what I can do, but we'll definitely get it done, and I'll probably bring y'all on my channel at some point too. We'll do the reverse.
hmm.
Yeah, whenever you're ready to do it, we can schedule some time to get it done. Hey, I am just one of the many that are just glad that you're back, man.
Well,
I'm
thank
glad
you.
you
I
wasn't
appreciate
cutting
that.
down out for the count, man. I'm just glad that you're back. That's it, you know.
I appreciate that.
all right, so let me get some of these comments. And Bless is talking about Waylon. I knew it was Waylon. Um, Last call. What did you pay for the Cascadia if it's not top secret?
It's not that it's top secret. As a matter of fact, I've told a couple of people what I paid. It's just that I feel like I got a really good deal on it. I've got it financed for 24 months. I got a 2-year warranty that I picked out myself with the options I wanted. The problem is no matter what number I say, if I say I got that truck for 15,000 and I feel like it's a good deal, somebody will pick me
Hmm.
apart. And if I say, well, I paid 100,000 for it, somebody will say, "Oh, you're an idiot. That guy ripped you off." And so there's not really any advantage to giving out that number because you're not going to be able to buy the truck for that price. There's not going to be an identical truck at that price. I can just tell you that I feel like I got a really good deal. Um, Quite honestly, some of it was from being on YouTube. The guy was familiar with my videos. He was familiar with Scott, and we had a mutual friend that he talked to about me, and so that's why instead of me focusing on what I paid for the truck, I would just say to focus on doing people right, doing what's ethical, because that's the one and only reason I got this deal. Was a lot of people vouched for me, said Todd's a good guy, he knows what he's doing, he knows how to take care of his equipment. And so that's the thing that I would focus on is some of you are going to say, "Oh, you're bragging, you got this deal." Some of you are going to say, "You're an idiot, you got ripped off." And some of you are going to say, "That's a great deal." The best thing to do would be for me to just to encourage you to treat others the way you want to be treated. And if you're at a terrible company like B and Z, they were okay, but their dispatching was horrible. But I took the truck back to the location they wanted. I spent an entire day cleaning it out. It didn't look like it was detailed, but I took good care of it because you never know when you're going to cross those people again at a company or something like that. So I always try to do the right thing, and that's why sometimes I get these benefits like this. Hey, look who's here! DIY is here.
Yeah, I was
I
just
tell
gonna
you what,
say.
Todd, at the end of the day, it doesn't what I've already learned with this internet stuff, it doesn't matter what you say, good, bad, or indifferent. You're gonna get some people that say you made a good a good deal, and they're just some and you're just gonna get some haters, man. You know that video that I posted a couple what it was last month about me buying that international truck? I'm still getting haters on it. Still getting views. It is what
Hey,
it's the largest views I ever had on any video, and there's some people on there that's saying that I made a good deal. There's some people on there that are flacking me for it because of the engine, because of the truck. It is what it is. At the end of the day, are you in the same position that I'm in?
yeah, exactly. And they can't just say I'm happy for you, 18. They feel like they got to pick at you, or they
Hmm.
can't just say, or not say nothing at all. They could skip to the next video, or they could say, I'm happy for you. I hope it works out. But they feel like they got to tear people down. And so I've learned to not help them tear me down.
Right, exactly. Sometimes you gotta take the good with the bad, the happy with the sad, and everything that comes with it. At the end of the day, you know what you're doing, and you know where you're getting at, so it's all good.
All right. So it looks like you're getting a bunch of donations there to you, Todd. I don't know if
Wow. Wow.
you've got.
Let's check those out and see what they say. I wasn't expecting that tonight.
When you do that, I wanna go through these comments here. I got to go through and figure out why my YouTube demonetized me for some reason. I got to go back and fix that.
But
So
yeah,
let me do these
demonetized.
four real quick.
Yep.
Robbie Ross with the $20 super chat. Glad to see you back on the live, Todd. We do chat behind the scenes. Go Cowboys. Yes, sir. And we've got Ramon here with the $5 super chat. And looks like Ramon is a new member. Did you give up your channel membership? Because you were the original channel member. And then we've also got Michael with a 1999 super sticker. Thank y'all for that. It's not required, but it's definitely appreciated. Let me turn it back to James. He's got some comments he wants to get here.
Yeah, we got to get a lot of comments caught up here. Red Raider Reloading says Black Clover Trucking Things. I think this is your uncle, Racing Ray. Hey, Ramon.
Yeah, another great guy.
Legacy Seats in a company truck, only in my dreams. Lasca Hall says they are called compound turbos. 3.5, I call bullshit. Okay.
No,
To
he's
me,
talking
best
about the
motors are
specs for the other guy.
3406 Cat. The company is out of Elmhurst, Illinois, E7 Logistics, according to
Oh,
Bless.
super ego.
No,
That is super
no,
ego.
yeah. Me and 18 have the same thoughts on that one.
Oh no, 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 no. Run away as fast as you
So,
can, man.
Lasca Hall says the 3406 is not a great motor, blows head gaskets all the time. Black Clover Trucking said he found a mom and pop place out of Stafford, Missouri, willing to hire me. I have already done orientation. I'm just waiting on the drug test results to come back, which will be either tomorrow or Tuesday. Let me ask you a question. Does that happen to be Christensen Trucking, Black Clover? Because they're out of
He
Stratford,
said
Missouri.
mom and pop, not mega carrier.
Well,
So
Mega Christensen's not a mega carrier. They're only 300.
okay.
Gary Cook also did a super chat for $1.99. Thanks for that, Gary. I appreciate it.
Alaska Hall says Acer block with the 6NZ head is the best setup. Howard Garvey, that's a new one. Greetings, Earthlings.
Howard, that's my buddy, man. From me and him, we team drove when we first got our CDLs back at Covenant Transport a couple of years couple while it was that 7 years ago now.
Deal.
Yeah, that's my buddy, man.
There's DIY Semi says howdy Todd and all. I
Hey,
saw your
Hey,
comment
man.
earlier there, DIY. I kind of went over it, but Todd said something about it. Good to have
yeah,
you
glad
on.
you could make it. He's got a huge channel, like 37,000 followers.
Yeah, I watch his videos quite a bit
I seen a
actually.
couple of his as well too.
Him and Cash is King do things together all the time.
Oh,
Remember
they're
this
funny
guy?
together.
Remember this guy, Todd? Chris
Oh
Thompson says,
yeah,
"Hey James,
you,
here's your thumbs up."
he's a good guy. That Chris, I didn't realize what a technical wizard he was, though.
Oh yeah.
That
Yeah,
guy can
give
fix
me a
anything.
second here. I'll be right back.
Ramon says, "Have a good night. Driving soon. Todd, glad back. You're safe." Black
Thank
Clover
you,
says
sir.
he's just repeating same thing. Keith Crowell, do you see a difference in the spot market since your absence, Todd?
Uh, that's another great question. I'm running different areas than what I was running before. Before I ran the Northwest and the Central West part of the country a lot more than what I am now. Now I'm going Southeast a lot. I'm going Midwest a lot. But generally speaking, it seems like things are getting better. It's just you have to dig for a load. Like before, you could look and you'd see two or three good loads right off the top. Now you've got to dig, you've got to read. It could have multiple stops. I've seen a couple of loads on there that they wanted you to drop the trailer and come back and get it like a day or two later. And if you're not reading the deal and you're just taking it because the rate's good, you may be sitting a couple of days waiting on your trailer to be loaded. So it's just uh, digging through the haystack to find the needle, kissing a few frogs before you find the princess.
So Raymond says, "Evening, guys. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I'm gonna have to fix the TV for my father-in-law here in a second." Robbie Ross, glad to see you back on the live, Todd. We can chat behind the scenes. Go Cowboys.
Yes, sir.
That's why leasing trucks sucks. My trucks anywhere, anytime. I want to take no money to transfer to another company. Yeah, I agree. A lot of us aren't in the same position. There's
We got to
Ramon.
all start from somewhere. We get somewhere. So
Red Raider, Life on 18 Williams. Your volume on your microphone is very low. Let me see if I
I
can
think I turned it up earlier when I saw
see
that
if I can
comment.
turn you up a little bit. Edit mic settings. Yeah, I had yours set down. Talk, 18.
There are
Talk.
aliens on the earth.
There we go. I had to
There are
turn you up a little
aliens
bit.
on the earth.
There we go. Kiss my ass. Let's see here. Where were we? You already did all that. Last call. What do you guys think about Jason Pote and Hirschbach videos? Well, their last. Hold on. I'm out 18. Last time I commented on somebody's video, somebody got mad at me, so I'm making no comments any longer. But
Listen, I don't mind being
my comments are
unfiltered, but
probably
hey,
the same. But I'm not. I'm not making anybody else's comments. You
uh,
guys feel free.
I'll just give you guys 2 words. That's it. Buyer beware.
Yeah. Todd, go
Buyer
ahead and
beware,
give your
man.
comments. I'm going to fix the television for my father-in-law.
So I'm trying to think what I want to say here and what I don't want to say here.
I think I think me and you got the same
I
thought
think
and mindset when it comes to coach and
I
his
think buyer beware was a great comment. I think if a deal sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
mm,
I think you may want to wait a couple of months and see how that all works out. But I can tell you, let me talk about something that's not controversial. The 99-cent fuel at Hirschbach that everybody's so excited about
mm,
is not a great deal because they keep your fuel surcharge. They tell you where to fuel. And if you don't follow that fuel surcharge, I mean, their fuel route up to, I think, 80%, you lose that 99-cent fuel. So then you're paying full price. If you have a decent fuel card like I do, ES Advantage, and there's a link on my videos if you guys want to get that card, I'm saving 75 cents a dollar a gallon on fuel. I also have a good fuel card with SRO Logistics that I use that I also save a lot of money with. And so if now on the spot market, let's say the load pays $1,000 on the Raycon, they may show 800 and then 200 for the fuel surcharge, but it's not really a fuel surcharge. They just give you kind of an all-in rate.
mm,
But If you're at a company like Swift that's probably paying 45 cents a mile right now, or 50 cents a mile for your fuel surcharge, that's going to make your fuel cheaper than what 99-cent fuel is. Take, for example, let's just say you're getting 8 miles a gallon, because I've seen videos where they claim they're getting 8 miles a gallon. 8 times 40 cents is $3.20 that your fuel surcharge is basically paying. So you take 320 off the pump price, which at most places fuel ain't 320 right now, and it's going to be way less than 99 cents a gallon. And you can fuel where you want to. You can run those apps every morning, figure out where the cheapest fuel is, and buy the cheapest fuel. Now, if you're not good at buying fuel, then maybe the 99-cent fuel deal with them's a good deal, because they're going to take all the decision making out of it for you. But
Mhm.
most people that became owner operators because they wanted to make decisions, not because they wanted the company
Exactly.
to tell them where to fuel, or things like that. But anyway, James is back. We'll
And
let
I
him
tell
jump
you
back.
what, another thing too. I'm gonna just put this out here, right? If you for those of us who've been watching Coach since the beginning of since we've had our CDL, if you've been watching over the years and you see, just let his track record speak for himself, because in a couple of weeks or months you're gonna just see the same repeated stuff that always happens, bro. So he used to be not back then when he used to have his Truckers Coach TV and he had all those views. He used to actually be pretty decent because you actually giving good advice out at that time. But I guess something happened in between then and now, and it turned from helping the guys out to just swindling people left and right, as I
and
would see it. But
and I've emailed with him before, I've texted with him before, I've even talked to him on the phone before. I'm not saying he's a bad guy, or
right,
as far as I know, there's no dirt between us, but uh, it's I'm skeptical of anybody that goes to a company and their very first week there, it's like, this is the greatest company ever. Call my
every
recruiter
single
is in.
company has been the greatest company
Yeah.
ever.
Well, and call my recruiter is literally the first minute of every one of his videos. It's got the guy's picture on the screen. It's got the phone number. Now, I run mine in the ticker sometimes, uh, like the email for SRO Logistics, but I've been with SRO almost a year. You got to take out the stroke time, but without the stroke time, there's about a year there, and I waited several weeks before I revealed where I was at or what I thought about the company, because I really wanted to see how it was. Oh, and my uncle said hello. Hello, Ray. Glad you're here. He's a good guy also.
So I'm sure you went over the 99-cent fuel thing, the scam on that.
I couldn't help myself. I that's
Yeah,
that's what. But well, and
and
they
that's not talking
revealed
about them. That's talking about their company.
and they revealed that most of their loads pay $1 a mile, and even if you add in their 30-cent bonus, they're at $1.30. I don't. I typically don't take loads under $2 a mile, so I start out 70 cents ahead of them, and my truck payment's cheaper, my insurance is cheaper, and I've got a lot more freedom.
Would have been
I,
better off at Swift.
I got yeah. I was gonna say
Yeah,
I got to tell you the truth. I don't know how they're making any money, to be honest with you, with what their
I
plan
can
is.
tell you exactly how they're making money.
Oh yeah, I mean I get that. I'm talking about the actual work is what I'm talking about.
That's not the whole point. That's not the whole point of them being over there. The whole point is to,
They sure
you
look
know,
excited to be in there, though. I will say
hey,
that.
they
well, the
look
deal
pretty
that
happy
gets me,
together at.
they say that they're so busy, they're getting so many loads, they're having to do rolling resets, and but every time you see them, they're at a truck stop dancing in front of their truck.
The Hirschbachen
So
dance.
so they don't have time to do a parked 34 reset, but they've got time to stand in front of their truck in the freezing cold and dance
Yeah,
and
you
make
got
a
time to
30-minute
make
video.
videos. You got time to make videos. You're not running any loads, man. Like this is supposed to be it's supposed to be a hobby on the side, and it's supposed to be a little difficult trying to push these videos. You got enough time to sit there and make videos. You ain't got time. You ain't got time. You don't have any loads to be running. I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. You know, it is what it is.
Well, and to follow up with what you're talking about, that's one of the reasons why we didn't do a live or a video last week. We started out on Friday, then we went to Saturday, then we went to Sunday. Well, guess what, guys? We didn't do a video, and I put it perfectly clear out there why we didn't do a video. All
We
three
was
of us
both
were
working.
busy. We were all working. Well, two of us were. One of us was sitting on his ass.
I was more like I was laying on my ass the whole damn time,
Yeah.
but that goes
Let's
without
just
saying. But
let's just
hey,
not get into
at the end
that.
of the day, I'm not sitting here trying to bash coach, right? I'm just calling a spade, just looking at it from anybody. Like, the only person that I feel like gonna be fleeced out here is people who just don't know no better. People who are new to the industry that think, "Ooh, 99-cent fuel, that must be something great." But then there's always a caveat to something. With all these companies, there's always a caveat to something. You're not gonna find out until you're already there and already wasted your time, you know?
Well, and if if the three of us had never drove a truck and they said, "Hey, we run 5,000 miles a week, dollar a mile," all three of us would think, "Wow, we could get rich doing that." But if you
Right?
have any trucking knowledge at all, you go, "Man, my expenses are more than that."
Let me get caught up on these comments. We're about 20 minutes behind on comments. Gary Cook says Super Eagle's a horrible company. Pretty much everybody knows that now, I think. And we definitely agree with you, Gary. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, Landon.
Thanks, Landon.
Mark says, not bragging, in 192 weeks, he made 1.3 million before the split, 70-30. Wow, not bragging in
That's
100.
pretty nice.
Here's
Yeah,
all.
Where you at, Mark Early? What are you doing?
Well, that's Todd's buddy. He can probably tell you.
he was at USA. I'm not sure if he's still there, but we met kind of debating each other. Like we've had some pretty heated debates, and then we kind of became friends and found out we agreed on a lot more than we thought we did. But he's a super guy and a strong runner for sure.
Michael says, I figured you can go have lunch on me. That's what the super chat was about.
Well, thank
Mike,
you. I appreciate that.
good.
Nice.
Ray says, sounds a lot better. Ha ha. Obed, he says he wants to be a truck driver. Okay. Chicago Bears fired their head coach. Yeah, I saw that. There's a
Yeah.
meme
No, they
running
didn't
around where
fire
he's
their
still
head
on.
coach. They fire ride their head.
Well,
their head
it's
coach.
funny. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny
They
that
fried him.
there's a
fire
meme running
ride him.
around. There's a meme running around that he's still sitting on the damn field waiting to make a call. I don't know if you've seen that meme or not, because I guess it usually calls and stuff. So Gus says, nice to see you. Nice to see you, Trucker Todd.
Well, thank you, Gus. It's good to be back.
Robbie Ross, Gary, after that chit show and how he handled the end of the game, then his comments at the post game, yeah, pretty much fired. Robbie Ross, that game was a disaster. I'm glad they got rid of that coach. Gary, the Bears had the chance to knock off the Lions. Oh, man. Last call. I think referral bonuses should be banned at every company. Now, I disagree with you on that, but there needs to be some definitely some discrepancies on some of those things. Some of these.
I heard through the grapevine, because I hear a lot of stuff through the grapevine, that there was this one trucker at that Hirschbach company that made like 40,000 plus bucks just off of referrals alone.
I got one better than that. There's 2 or 3 prime drivers that made over 100 grand last year. Just
on referrals.
Just on referrals.
No miles, no nothing.
Nope.
Yeah, there's a guy at Hirschbach. He's still there right now. That they said he averages between 40 and 50 referrals a year. So he's getting one a week at $1,200 or whatever it is.
Let's go back to the Chicago companies.
You know what? That might be the play here. Like,
listen to me. What about the guy at the Chicago company that has the drones? He's making a lot of money off referrals too. He's getting these innocent guys, bringing them in.
Oh Lord!
You know what I mean?
So I don't think referral bonuses are the problem. I think it's the ethics of the people that are doing the referral bonuses.
Absolutely.
You got to
Absolutely.
tell the truth about a company. I could come on right now and I could say SRO is the worst company I've ever worked for, and I'd get 2 or 3 guys that want to go to work there. They'd go, "Oh, Todd, it can't be that bad. I want to prove you wrong." Or I could come on and say it's the best company ever, and I'd get 2 or 3 that want to go there.
Yep.
So just
Todd,
tell the truth.
we just talked about this the other day. I haven't
Yeah.
referred anybody in over 2 months where I'm at, just because I want to make sure that it's halfway decent here before I even start referring anybody. Haven't referred anybody, and I'm still getting phone calls for people wanting to go to different companies and stuff. Even though I tell them I don't have any good information to give you, they're still wanting to come over and do it. So, like you said, it doesn't really matter what information you put out there; they're still going to want to come.
At the end of the
And
day, transparency is key,
Yep.
but
And
these
and
companies
that's
ain't
one
even
thing.
being transparent themselves either. So
That's one thing that Cash does that I give him a little bit of respect for. He doesn't talk about his company for that specific reason. I get it and I understand it. These guys, Todd, you've been in the business. They call you all hours of the day and night. Not that it's a bad thing. That's part of what you do and everything. But you got to make sure the company can back up what you tell them too at the same time.
and that right there is why I'm okay with referral bonuses. I spend probably most days, it used to be a lot more. Now it's probably 4 to 6 hours a day on the phone, mentoring people and giving advice. And so to get compensated for that, and by the way, if I was in it for compensation, I wouldn't have gone to a small company with 7 trucks. If I was in it for compensation, I would have went to Swift. But if occasionally I get compensation from a company, because I still work with some companies, then I feel like I've earned it because I spend a lot of time on the phone helping people out every day.
Well, I'm going to make it perfectly clear. I'm not going to stop referring, and I'm going to keep recruiting. I mean, that's a part of this YouTube. That's one of the reasons why you get on YouTube is to recruit and refer and bring people to SFI and whatever company you're working with. And honestly, that's one of the reasons why I started the channel is to bring different people in from different companies to kind of help them out and do the recruiting. You agree too, 18 Todd. I know you do.
look, I don't do recruiting because that's it's not my cup of tea, and I don't think I'm gonna get a bonus with it anyways. But if anybody wants the information, I'm more than happy to give it. And I'm more than happy to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly about it. And then at the end of the day, the decisions that you make moving forward, you can't come back and blame me or say that I gave you wrong information. It's just it is what it
18,
is.
that's one of the things that me and you need to talk about right there. You need to find out what recruiting bonuses they give you at Landstar, if any, because you are missing out on some money there and you're leaving some stuff off the table, just to let you know. We've talked about that before. So let me get to these comments. How many jobs has Coach had over the year? And from my memory, Todd called Coach a bald headed beast also. You called him a bald headed bitch?
So let me say this. I know the I know the conversation he's talking about. I got so upset that night I don't recall exactly what I
Bald
said,
headed bitch. I like that.
but I'm not afraid to say that I might have said something along those lines.
That
That was
doesn't
the
sound
Swift
like
days,
Todd
wasn't
at
it?
all, man. Todd sounds like a really stand-up guy, man. There's no way Todd would call somebody a bald-headed.
Bald headed bitch. That's funny, man. So Jeremy says
Oh
Coach
man.
and Cooper are lovers, and he also says broke back trucking.
Broke back trucking.
Yeah.
Again,
I would keep my comments to myself
yeah,
on
I'm not.
that.
I'm
Yeah,
not. I'm just reading comments that
this
people put up
this
there.
might be the part of the show where we better follow James' advice.
Yeah,
Right,
I'm
right,
not.
right.
Yeah, that's not anything that
Oh
I'm saying
man.
or anything. So last call, they are running as strong solos, not as a team. They do eight hours each. If they do that, if they even hear about snow, they park the truck. Huh?
Who we talking
Interesting.
about? That Hirschbachen?
Yeah, Hirschbach
Oh,
dance.
okay.
So Mark, I guess, is still at USA Truck. He's doing pretty good at
Yeah,
USA Truck
Nice.
then, huh?
yeah, he does do well there.
He must own his own truck working for them then, huh?
I
Said
believe so.
192 weeks. That's what, a little over 3 years.
I don't know if he's paid it off yet or not, but I believe he got that truck through USA, maybe through Tel, and he's been killing it basically from day one over there. If anybody's at USA or got a Tel truck, Mark is a really smart guy to get advice from about how to make money over there.
I've always wanted to ask you which one's Mark in the little avatar.
I believe he's the one on the left.
Okay.
Wait, your
Uh,
left or my left? Because now
the
is it the
I,
black guy or the white guy? Let's just
I,
put it
I
out there.
believe I believe he's the black guy, but you know,
Okay.
I've honestly never asked. When I talk to people on the phone, race never crosses my mind. I don't
Well, what
ever
does he
think
sound
about it.
like on the phone? He sound with a little bass in his
Just like,
throat.
well, we've only talked, I think, once or twice on the phone. It's been a while. It's usually text or email.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people text me or email me because a lot of times you'll get a faster response. James has called me before, and I'll tell him, hey, I got to go. I've got 6 people waiting for me to call them back. And so sometimes if you've got an email or a text message to me, you'll get a quicker response because I can answer it while I'm talking to somebody on the phone or while I'm at a shipper getting loaded or something like that.
So
Okay.
Gary Cook says, Todd, what would you do if Coach joined SRO Logistics?
Coach is not joining
So,
SRO Logistics.
so I'm actually going to answer that. The deal about Scott is it's very, very difficult to get hired with him. There's a stringent interview process, and one of his requirements is that you can only have, I think it's 2 or 3 jobs in the past 2 years. And so the short answer would be, and I don't want to speak for Scott, but the short answer, in my opinion, based on what I've seen, is that Scott would want him to stay at Hirschbach for a couple of years before he would consider him.
Didn't
And even then, I don't know if he would because of the drama that ensues.
didn't he own a couple like one or two trucks beforehand? Like what happened to those trucks?
Who's that?
Uh
Scott or
no,
Jason?
Coach. Yeah, Jason.
So he had one that him and Stewart had. I believe they got it from Lone Mountain.
Yeah, I remember.
And
I'm talking about before then. I remember I did ask him what happened to that, but he didn't want to go into details about what
he's
happened to
had a
that
couple,
truck.
he's had his own authority 2 or 3 times. He had
Right.
that Jarhead Trucking. He had uh, J something, JSO or something like that. So it's I didn't follow him until he came to Swift. So I don't really know too much about his back history. I just know what I've seen on the internet, and I know some of that's true and some of it's not true. But yeah, he's definitely been in it a while. I think I've been in it a little longer. I've been going since '96, and I think he got into it in the early 2000s.
Little dude from across the street. Love that name. Anybody know anything about Freight Bull? So I don't
Ain't
know
that
anything about
another?
Freight.
It's another
What's that?
Chicago company, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a Chicago Serbian company. Run, Forest, run.
that's what I was getting ready to say. That I called them years ago before I even called Swift. And they are definitely a Chicago company. They even told me straight up front that their dispatch is out of Serbia. So you'd be talking to somebody, if it's 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon here, then it's going to be like 2 or 3 in the morning there. So
So we got
uh,
another super chat here. Let me grab it real quick if I can get my computer froze up. Let's see.
so
Oh,
let
there
me
it
read
went.
this. Midlife Trucker says at Cheeseman they get a referral bonus at 2, 4, 6, and 9 months. If drivers don't stay, we don't get paid. It's kind of the same thing at F2. You get paid so much each week up until 3 months, and after 3 months, they're paid out completely.
So Mike B was with the super chat 999 said, "What are the deductions a week from SRO if you own your own truck?" That's impossible for me to answer because it's different on every truck. You have to have bobtail physical damage. You have to have occupational accident. You can rent the trailer from him. You can bring your own trailer. They have an 80-20 split. They have a 75-25 split. Those would be better questions to shoot to Scott for your specific situation. His email is safety@srologistics.com. And tell him you've been talking to me and he can get you the answers to those questions. But you go get your own insurance. So it'll be probably similar to what you're paying now for that. Okay, I'll be quiet.
They're all good. So little dude from cross street says Kamikaze from Super Ego. Dude is the biggest crook in trucking.
Absolutely.
Raymond
He's
says
not only
we
just
run,
he's one of those P words as well too. So
we run
go with
in
that information, what you will.
we run in Western Star day cabs with DD13s in them, and only getting 5.8 miles a gallon. We do 87.5 on harvest permit, but I don't know why the fuel is so bad in these trucks. Might
Well,
be
how
slip.
heavy are
Are
those
they
loads that you're pulling?
that, and do they do any slip seating? Slip seating has a lot to do with it too.
And I believe the DD13 is a 400 horsepower engine, so it's working hard to pull those heavy
Mm-hmm.
loads.
Michael Cannabis, that's all Alex did at Transco GP. I don't know who Alex is.
GP Trask. Oh, that's
Alex, the
that young
trucking
guy.
guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
he quit. He quit trucking permanently after he got 1 million subscribers.
Really?
Yeah, he's the one guy that every time you see his shorts, he sounds like he's talking you to sleep.
I don't think I've ever seen him.
Well, you're lucky. I'll tell you that much.
So Raymond says he ran the same engine in a Freightliner Cascania, was getting 7.8 loaded. Black Clover says Route 66 Transport, the owner has about 6 different companies and 87 trucks total. I have 5 referrals in 24. All 5 are still here, and all 5 have been here more than 9 months. Well, you're doing pretty good on the money then.
By
Mike
the
B
way,
is
I'm loving
interested.
those videos that you post out there, Tom. Love those videos on
Yeah.
TikTok.
I'm interested in SRR. What are we doing for deductions? You've already answered that. Landstar is 100% on your fuel card recruiting.
$100.
Oh,
Wow.
that's crazy, man. That's
Now I
like
see why you don't do
1980. That's
it.
like
I didn't
1980s,
even know,
man.
and that's not even very convincing to say. You know what? Maybe nah. It sounds
That's
like a
like
lot of work.
1980s, man. You know, not counting vacation pay or referrals. I broke 6 figures on week 48. I love this place, which makes it a lot easier. Last call, yeah, but you guys refer people to companies that you quit a few months later. Now the guy's stuck in a bad company and their families are affected by these referrals. Well, to answer your question on that, Alaska, you are right to a sense. But the thing is, we didn't change companies. The companies changed us. That's why we left. JB Hunt turned into a company that we didn't expect to happen. So, yes, we did change companies, but guess what? The companies changed on us. That's why we left and went elsewhere.
I'm still where I'm at, so
Yeah, I
I'm
don't think
still where
I'm.
I was at prior to the stroke.
No, I don't think I'm going anywhere from where I'm at. Hopefully, anyways, that's not my plan. That night, Todd didn't hold back. It started to go south when someone mentioned mocked his "Y'all have a good night."
Yeah, that night'll live in infamy.
oh man.
So IH guy says Raymond Husser. It all depends on the final gearing load and the weight you're pulling. Michael Cannabis, not me through chains. I go anywhere. Heard from Tim. Not me through chains because I don't know what he's trying to say there.
Yeah, that's a whole different English. I don't know either.
Yeah,
His voice to text may have got him.
I guess so, man. That's they say Spanglish, but I don't know what that is. What are the deductions? You've already read that one.
Yeah.
Raymond says, "Yeah, I agree. They don't have them set up right. They really don't have any power either. They're back to talking about that."
Yeah.
Lease purchase, tail paid off, but just bought a 2025 579. Wow. So
Oh, there you go.
First
That
anybody
person
was
I
the
ever
first.
heard that finished a lease off a tail.
there's a bunch of
That's
people that finished that lease.
Would love to
Actually,
hear the story behind that.
their lease is actually not a bad lease.
Stuart Warby.
Warby
Who
is
is
a convicted
who is
child. I
Stuart
mean,
Warby?
yeah, who is that?
Is that
that's the
Kamikaze
Stewart
Joe?
that's Stewart the
Oh,
hobby trucker that was with
hobby
Coach
trucker.
on the
Okay.
yeah.
That's who?
The Stewart that was with Coach on the KW when they were pulling
Uh,
those U-Haul boxes out of Florida or whatever they were doing.
So no power usually means shit mileage. So Taste and Narc. Todd has been over 4 jobs in the last 2 years. I'm sure that's
oh
Mr.
man, they're
Narc, isn't
coming
it?
for you, Todd.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're coming for
They
you.
say you a job hopper, Todd.
yeah. Well, and so let's look at that for just a second. And I'm not denying that. It's not because I was hopping companies though. So I came back to Scott just as soon as I could. During the 7 months I couldn't drive, I worked a regular job in Lubbock. Before that, I was with Scott almost a year. And then let's see, where was it before that? I was at
F2F.
F2F. That's where I had the accident, got fired. Before that, I was with Swift for a good long while and only left them because I saved up enough money to pay cash for it.
Yeah, we were all at Swift all at the same time when
Yeah,
that
and
whole
everybody
accident.
knew when I went there that I wanted to run the load board, so I was beta testing their load board. It was awful. And so as soon as I got a chance to buy a truck for cash and go on the load boards, of course I'm going to do that. That's a vertical move in your career. And it's dumb to stay at a job when you know there's better opportunities just so you can say, I've been there. That company would replace me in a second, or any company, if they thought there was a better deal out there, somebody just as competent that would do
Mm-hmm.
it for cheaper. And so if I have a chance to improve my situation, then that's what I'm going to do. And if it gives a few people on YouTube reason to be mad at me or skeptical of me, that's fine. I'm going to do what's best for my family, just like they do what's best for their family. By the way, Nark, how many jobs have you had in the last 2 years?
And you know what? And to add on top of that, we're not company drivers; we're contractors. Okay, so it's a little bit different here. We're out here to follow the money, follow the revenue. We're not out here to be bandwagoning, to stay, just to stay at no company. And but Ty, I got a question for you. For those
Uh-huh.
7 months, how did it feel? How did it feel working a regular job, man?
So I loved it. I really did. But the problem is, like, I'd work all month and you'd get a bonus for $1,300. And everybody would be excited. Whoa, we just got a $1,300 check. And you'd go, dang, I used to make twice that every week. And so my problem was I wasn't planning to have the stroke when I did. Nobody ever does, but I was living a lifestyle that wasn't compatible with the $18 an hour job plus bonuses. I was living a lifestyle that was, 2,000, 2,500 a week. And so had I not had all the debt I had, I'd have probably stayed there. I liked being home every day. I liked being able to go to church and have a normal life. But just it's tough when you're used to living a certain way and your income gets cut, not in half, but half of half. It's a fourth of what it was.
So, did you
And
miss driving the truck at all?
not as much as you would think. It trucking for me has always been, I don't know how to describe it. I like it, but it's not something that's in my blood like people say. I'm all about taking care of my family. To me, my definition of success is how much time I get with my family.
Mm-hmm.
So, like Thanksgiving at my uncle's house, that's success to me. That's being rich to me. And so I'm willing to come out here and do this so that I can do those things. But it's never been, oh, I've got to be in the truck. I've got to go to California or wherever. It's just been that this is the tool of how I take care of my family.
Gotcha.
I
Gotcha.
agree, man. That's kind of what I talk about all the time. And speaking of that, this guy wants to know this. His name is James Rabbit. What's your weekly like over at F2F? And he's talking about take home. I'm actually going to do a 90-day video. I was going to do a 60-day, but I'm going to go ahead and do a 90-day video here in the next couple of weeks. I've still got about 2 more weeks left on that, but I am going to do another video. I don't really talk about what I take home, but all I can tell you is what my gross is. To be flat honest with you, the first 2 weeks I was here, I was actually killing it because I was working hurricane relief right through the hurricane. Was kind of busy. That's one of the reasons why I really haven't put out a video in a while. And then the next 2 or 3 weeks, it was just me trying to figure out my groove. When you go to a different company, you got to figure everything out. And quite frankly, I'm still kind of in that groove trying to figure it out. But I'm back to the point now to where I'm actually making more money than what I did when I was at JV Hunt. It's taken a month and a half to get there. But I'm literally at like 2 months and 1 week right now, I believe, because I started the right at the end of September was my last. So I'm right at about the 7th or 8th week. Well, actually, about the 9th or 10th week is where I'm at. So I'm gonna put out a video, and I don't like putting out numbers, but I'll put out some gross numbers to kind of give you some ideas. Like I said, the first month was not that. I mean, the first 2 weeks were great, but the next 2 weeks were absolutely horrible. I made my truck payment, paid my bills, paid everything, but I didn't have a whole lot to take home. Week 5 and 6, it got a little bit better. Like I said, I wasn't killing it by any means, but now I'm at the point now to where I'm back to making some decent money once I figured the groove out. And I'll go over more on detail with that when I do a video. I'll put it out soon. So the right way to truck says, "Hey folks,"
How you doing?
Hey, right way.
and Black Clover. I wonder if they call the Hirschbach Shuffle.
Hirschbachen.
Did they ever catch that Super Ego driver that did that hit and run in Missouri?
Yes,
I
they
heard
did.
that
Yes, they
They
did.
did get him. They did get him.
So here's something I want to talk about. I don't usually talk about politics, but Alaska Hall says, "Who watched this guy's truck's new political channel?" I put it on, and after about 10 seconds, after I figure out which side of the rainbow he flew on, was not the same side of the rainbow that I fly on, and I turned it right off. He does not make any sense to me at all. And I still have, and again, I know we have to have two sides, but when you think about some of the stuff that the other side is for, I just don't understand it. I mean, guys, help me out here if I'm wrong. I just don't understand how somebody can be on that other side anymore. And I think this election really proved that other side, in my opinion. But you got to have
whole
those
thing
people
is,
somehow.
I don't understand how you can be a contractor or independent contractor or owner operator and be swimming in the ocean, as I call it.
Yeah.
So,
So,
but hey, more power to you. You might
yeah,
know something I don't know.
that's
It is what it is.
and that's what makes the United States great. You know what I mean? We don't all have to be on the same side, but we all do have to get along. And my thing is, we've dealt with their side for the last 4 years. Well, guess what? It's time for us to have our side. And you know what? You got to be able to take it. We took theirs. It's their turn to take ours
I just want to make
and
some
deal
money.
with it.
I just want to make some money and keep some money.
Yeah.
That's it.
How many alias company names does Super Ego have? I really
A lot.
honestly don't know that
Too
answer.
many. Too many. It sounds so suspect. I don't understand how the U.S. government hasn't even been investigating them already.
So look at this. National Carriers is looking for owner operators for their Cargill account 270 a mile. That's
Located out of
good.
where?
Yeah, that's good and dandy. Couple things out of that, James. Like he said, where's it out of? And the thing is, at 270 a mile, that's all good and dandy, but can you get 2,500, 3,000 miles a week? A lot of people that have these companies where they pay the high dollar like that, high miles, you're not getting the miles. I mean, that's fine and dandy, 270 mile, but what if they only give you 1,000 miles a week?
And what are the
2,700.
deductions? How much are they charging for the truck and the insurance?
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm
you're
open
going to
to
meat
it.
packing plants. How long are you sitting at those meat packing plants to get that load? You go through like Liberal, Kansas, and you see all kinds of national trucks sitting bobtail at the truck stop.
Sure
And
do.
that's the problem. If you see a truck stop with a lot of bobtail parking, then there's a meat factory close by or something. Not knocking what you're saying, James. I get it, but we gotta have more information on that. Navajo wants to know if JB Hunt is better than Schneider to work for with an SFI truck. I got to be honest with you, and in that answer, I think as of right now, I think Schneider would be a better place to work for with an SFI truck. JB Hunt is just, in my opinion, has went downhill. That's everybody that we took over to JB Hunt. I'd say at least half of them plan on leaving in the next couple of weeks if they haven't already. I know one guy came over last week. Everybody knows him, Poppy. He came over 2 weeks ago, and then we got another two guys that want to come over, but they're kind of in limbo with the SFI truck, trying to get it switched because sometimes they require a deposit down for certain people that don't have the big deposit down. I put my deposit down months ago, and I was okay to move, but to answer your question, I think Schneider would be a much better place to go to than JB Hunt right now. And that sucks to say that because I really enjoyed my time at JB Hunt until they started playing the games towards the end. And the games that we were playing, they won't let them play anymore. So Trucker Todd, know who I'm talking about. He worked with SRO.
Yeah, have you talked to him lately? I sent him a message on Thanksgiving and I hadn't heard from him. Did you talk to him? There's my other friend, Randy's Road Life. Thank you for being here, Randy.
Landon Martin, family time is always great. Hell
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Todd.
Thanks, Mike B.
Midlife Trucker said, I learned few new tricks in editing. The drone backing videos will be improving a bit. Can't wait to see them. I check your videos out all the time too. Home time is permanent,
Preeminent.
preeminent. Excuse me. Thank you.
I'm sorry, my bad. I
Rick,
don't mean
it's okay.
my bad.
Okay.
It's a natural. I need to stop doing that. 'Cause I do that a lot to people,
Rick
and
Corley just joined. What was the reduction in revenue? 75% at Swift. Do you know that?
So I'm not sure that I understand the question because they paid on a sliding pay
a
scale.
sliding scale.
They did have a couple of percentage contracts and their percentages were terrible.
It was
I
what
mean like
50, 55,
55
50,
or 60%.
55%, and that was in the
Yeah.
Northeast as well too. But here, Swift is finally getting Peterbilt, and they're thinking about going percentage on the
Yep.
loads
But
Speaking
that they're
the
of
devil will be in
contracting
the
to go
details
to.
though. Will it be 55% or will it be 75 or 80%?
speaking of which, did you see the Facebook ad with the new Volvo too? The new body style
Yeah, I
Volvo.
seen them. Well, I
Man,
didn't see the ad, but I did see
what
them.
a
I did
sharp
see
truck that is, dude. They got them coming in already at
I
Swift.
seen them in person. The only thing is they're really skinny versus the last model. It's like all these trucks are becoming thinner.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, take a look when you get a good look at it,
Yeah.
especially if you see one in person. It looks it's a really sharp looking truck, but it's a little bit thinner than the
So
outgoing model.
Midlife Trucker says, Fly Rabbit, you just hit on it. Why it pays to have a mentor when you come to a carrier. It helps you figure out the groove faster, even at company jobs. Yeah, unfortunately, where I'm at, there's no such thing as a mentor or person to help you. You just get thrown in because it's strictly off the load board and you figure it out. Them Hirschbach boys are going to catch these hands if I see them in Omaha. Uh, Jesus is king. You're right, Randy.
You guys better leave them Hirschbach boys alone, man. They'll team fight you.
So Mike B, I'm at F2F. Todd is at SRO Logistics, and D is at Landstar.
I'm at my couch.
Charles
Apparently, that's what
Charles
everybody's been saying, that I'm at my couch. So
Charles Spray says, I'll tell you what I think about people trying to do truck lease. If you can manage your money as a company driver, it'll never work for you. You know, and there is some truth to that. I was never a company driver with any of these companies, and you are right. It's hard to be a company driver and then do the switch and be successful. Very few people are able to do that. Donald said he had a minor accident 2 weeks ago in his personal vehicle before he picked up my truck, and the company dropped me. Russian companies are the only ones that will pick me up, not doing it.
I would suggest looking at really small companies, say companies with 5 or 10 or 15 trucks. Sometimes they'll take a chance on you if you've had an accident.
I think Christensen would take a chance on him with just two minor accidents. You might want to
Depending
look
on
into
where he
Christensen.
lives.
Yeah, depending on where you live at, they might take a look at you, Donald. They're a great
um,
company too. I kick myself in the ass for leaving them at times. They were really a good company.
I know
Midlife
this might
Trucker
sound a
didn't say
little
about them.
blasphemous here, but
Yeah,
check Swift out. You just never know.
yes.
I
Swift
agree.
is another one. Swift's actually hard to get on to.
Not necessarily. It really all depends on who you're talking to that day, man. Because I've heard stories from different drivers. Some drivers say it's a no situation. Some other drivers say it all depends on who you talk to. It really all just depends.
So Midlife Trucker says drivers have to get past the cents per mile. They need to look at culture, home time, equipment, compensation, and knowledge. The whole package.
Agreed.
Yep.
I for the most part, I do agree too.
Yeah,
But them cents per mile is what pay the bills. So
that's right.
yeah,
Do you think Trump's will turn? Well, do you think Trump will turn things around when he gets back in the White House? Well, I got news for you. He's the de facto president right now. I think he's already making moves that are going to set things up. I don't think it's going to happen overnight by any means, but I think it's going to happen pretty decently.
I think it'll be foolish to think that anything in at least the first quarter, that there'll be any significant changes. I mean, we just got to take a look at how things are. Just play it day by day, air by air, and just figure it out, because eventually things have to turn. They cannot stay the same way forever. Just like they say, when everything was up and booming and everybody was making crazy money, it's the same thing that they say now. It's the same thing that they were saying back then. It doesn't last forever.
Okay, liberal Kansas is where National Carriers is located at. What a joke. Randy, what's going on? Rick says, I just happened to hear you say it was half of one, half a reduction. I'm thinking about getting my CDL with Swift. Thanks, gents. I tell you the truth, Rick. I think going to Swift and getting your CDL is a great start. People talk trash and crap about Swift all the times, but going there, and that's one of those companies that you can go in as a company driver, learn to be a truck driver, and 6 months to a year later, you can easily get into a decent lease that Swift has. There's nothing wrong with their lease. It just takes a long time to get a truck paid off through them. I mean, anybody can be successful at Swift, in my opinion. Their system is Swift and Schneider. Both of them have the easiest systems to learn and to make money there, whether you're a company or an owner operator. I think Todd can agree with that, and D,
I do.
because we all worked at Swift
Yeah, to a
at
certain
one time.
extent, yeah.
Swift is a great company to get rolling with. James says, Rabbit, what do you think about the freight market might go back to the average rate per mile in the near future? I think, like Dee just said, I think in this first quarter, it might not happen that quickly, but definitely the second quarter, I think we might be back in business. So it's just a matter of hanging on for right now. Christensen no longer has company drivers as of September 30th. I've heard that they did. I'm at Swift. I make 55%. I didn't know they had 55% at Swift. Must be
That's like I said.
the
That's
more.
that they
There's
have.
just a
They
couple
do that
accounts.
up in the
Yeah.
north, and it's mostly like in a northeast type situation. So
So George says Swift micromanage it. Well, they
never
might
had that.
micro. Yeah, I never had that
I never
either.
had
I
that.
didn't either.
That must be something that
Must be on the company side,
company
but
side. Yeah, they
yeah,
probably do. But again, you're a company driver. They will
And it probably
micromanage.
depends on who your fleet manager is too.
Yeah. So James says Christensen is now Prime Inc. No, they're not.
I
Christensen
haven't
is
heard
their
that.
own. Huh?
I haven't heard that.
No, Christensen's still their own company. They have nothing to do with Prime. You're thinking of Trans Am.
Prime. Yeah,
Trans Am.
then Prime got into a what is it? They got into a deal or they bought Trans Am. Which one is it?
They're brokering their freight with them is what they're doing. I don't know their setup, but Christensen has nothing to do with Prime, nothing at all. Depending on where you live, look at companies like Millis Transport or TMC for starter companies that both actually train rather than team drive and training. Yeah, I've never heard nothing about Millis, but I know you talked about them. But
I know Millis
T-
has those coffin sleepers
yeah,
on those
TMC is the very
Kenworths.
first company that I started working for, and other than having a bad trainer there, I had no problems with TMC. They got great equipment too. Rick says, "Do you know if you can go lease right away after getting CDL, or is there a wait period? 6 months at
I
Swift."
wouldn't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Even if you are able to, I wouldn't. It would not be a very wise choice to go leasing after you just got your CDL. You haven't had any. You haven't had any seasoned experience. You haven't gone through, especially winter. You haven't gone through winter driving experience, and I feel like you're gonna set yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
Not saying that it's impossible, not saying that it can't be done, but typically the people who succeed out here are the ones that usually take their time, take a couple of years, learn how the system works, because you're not gonna learn everything on the first day.
Now,
You know,
see, I
you
disagree.
gotta
I
meet you
disagree
gotta
with you on that. I disagree. If you're a good-hearted person, you have a business sense. There's no reason to wait. And
well,
obviously,
business sense aside,
you want
here's
to hear
my
me, or you
thing.
want to go over me?
Well, I'm gonna go over you because I think this is really important to say is that when it like anybody you can run a business, you have business sense, understand that, but when it comes to trucking specifically, it's a whole different ball game. You're not just running a business. You have to learn the hours of service. You have to learn how the laws are with these trucks, because every state has a different law with these trucks. You also have to learn how you have to learn about these shippers and receivers, all these different places that you go to, there's a myriad of things that it'll take you time to learn. I'd
Freight
say
lanes, how to buy fuel.
at- buying fuel, freight lane, yeah, exactly. And I would say at first, if you really want to get into leasing and you want to be an owner operator, at least spend that first year learning how the system works before you just dive right in and just say F it. Because you know what companies out here is taking advantage of those people who just got their CDLs and just railroading them? Super ego. 4 months
Yes.
now, they only require 4 months of experience now, and they railroading these guys because you don't know anything.
Can I tell
Especially
my
when you
side?
have, I'm sorry, especially when you have when you've never driven in the snow ever in your life. Bad idea, man. I'm done.
All right. So my thinking is on that. If you can't learn the job in 6 months as a truck driver, 6 to 9 months, then my opinion, if you can't learn how to run a truck, then you got no business being a truck driver. 6 months is perfectly amount of tough time to get in, jump in. There's no, and again, it depends on the person. Okay. Just because it's been 6 months doesn't mean that a person can't just get right in and jump in. How long were you a company driver before you started doing an
Before I started leasing,
lease? With Swift. How long were you a company driver?
I was almost at least 5 years in.
You worked for Swift for 5 years
No,
before
I
you
wasn't with Swift. I was never a company driver at Swift. The only companies I've ever been a company driver was at Covenant.
did you just jump right into a lease when you came to Swift
No,
though? You were a company driver at Swift for a while?
no, no. Listen,
Okay, listen to what I'm
I'm
asking you. Because what you're talking about is learning lanes and learning this and learning that. Doesn't matter how I was a company driver too for a long time before I ever started doing a lease. But again, that doesn't mean that you can't do it. It depends on the person. If
hey,
you can't learn the job in 6 months or 9 months or whatever, then you ain't got no business even truck driving, in my opinion.
what I'm
I think you
saying,
need about 5 years, and I tell people nobody will do 5, but I think at least 2 because
at
you
least
need to
two to
have,
3 years. Yeah,
yeah,
you got to be comfortable with driving. Look, trust me, you're not gonna be comfortable driving
Yeah,
truck after 1 year, man.
I'll
You're not gonna
disagree.
learn
We'll
You're
agree
not
to
gonna learn
disagree. How's
everything.
that?
It's a
yeah.
two
Let's
on
see.
one situation right here. So I think we're gonna take the W on this one, Todd.
I'm like Switzerland. I'm neutral.
There's no W with anything. It's just opinions, buddy. That's why we do the. It's
Well,
what's called the
hey,
shit
hey,
show.
listen,
You know what? Anybody. It depends on the. It depends on the fucking person. What it depends on. It don't depend on anything else. I don't know why you would even think it that way. I would give it at least 9 months where we can see a difference with Trump in office. I can agree with that. Alaska Hall, why are you guys so against Russian companies? Just don't lease with them. They usually pay 70 cents a mile and adjust your log. Boy, he is right on the money with that one, ain't he? Millis has 52-inch sleepers for regional trucks and 76 for OTR, regional or home 2 days every week. So that answers your questions about the coffins. D.
I seen I believe there's a lot. They have a lot of coffin sleepers for sale over there at what's that everybody's favorite website to go buy a truck from nowadays? Low Mountain.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
they got quite a few of them on there for sale.
Hey,
Charlie
look
says
who's here.
Charlie says Swift normally only micromanage folks that need it. Yeah, I agree with you,
I
I agree
agree
Charlie.
with
with you
that.
on that one. Because I've talked to my driver leader plenty of times, and he's had a couple of drivers on there, and he would tell me, man, it's a pain in the butt dealing with some of these guys because they just don't know what they're doing. They still have
Good to
that
see you
company
in here
driver
again.
mindset.
So
Good to see
midlife
you in
says
here again, Charlie.
there are so many drivers who have been driving 10 plus years that do not know the HOS. But and that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's the person. I agree with you 1,000%. You know, there's drivers that have been driving, like you said, for more than 10 years that don't even know
Listen,
how to run truck. They got
I
no
can
business doing a
concede.
lease.
I can concede a little bit on that. Yes, it also is on the person,
It depends on the person.
but typically you might want to put a couple of at least do 2 winter driving seasons before you think about leasing because You go lease that truck and never drove in the winter weather.
So
You gonna have a quick
you gonna be
change of
driving through the
heart real
mountain?
quick.
You gonna be driving through the mountains this year, any
Am
in
I?
the snow? In the snow? Are you gonna drive in the mountains in the snow this year?
I hope I don't have to.
Yeah. There's a big chance that a lot of these
Actually, I'm
drivers
heading
will
up to
never even see.
Pennsylvania. I'm actually gonna be heading up to Pennsylvania this week, so who
There's
knows,
a good chance that a lot of these drivers will never even see snow or even in the mountains if they're southeast or something. So thought Millis went out of business, and he says no, Millis was bought by Heartland Express. I wish I could say never driving in the snow. I agree there. Life in a box. I started in '96. I was a company driver for 20 years. I bought my first truck. I run my own authority now, and I would never recommend anyone being an owner operator for 5 years. Charles Spray, when you lease a truck, you have to work twice as hard as a company driver.
Mhm.
Yep, I agree there. Mike B says Richie Brothers. Charlie says, hey, Todd, thanks.
Hey,
Glad
Charles
to
in the
have you,
business,
Charlie,
man.
buddy. Cordell Truck Sales, that's another place. Charlie says, yeah, but right after getting a CDL, probably not the best plan to be successful.
I agree.
I agree.
So they're still Millis owned by Heartland Express. That's correct. I think Millis
Yeah,
just
I've
runs their
seen
own
Millis out
business.
here. They're normally hauling beer, right? From they usually have these large beer contracts. That's why they have
You
those
guys talk for
coffin
a minute. I'll be
sweepers.
right back. I'll be right back, guys.
The Midlife
Okay.
says, I don't even carry chains on my tractor. I have a pallet of them in my trailer right now, but those are for decorations, not to be used. Hey, I'm with you on that one. I am not a chain. I've never chained up, and I have no plans to ever chain up in my life. I just feel, in my opinion, that no load is worth chaining up. If I got a chain, that means it's too dangerous for me.
So I carry the tire socks. People that's been watching my videos for a while know they're small, lightweight. They're under the bunk. I'm never going to use them. I think I've had them 2 or 3 years, and I've used them twice. So to get me out of a small situation here and there, but I'm same philosophy. If it's bad enough to chain, it's bad enough to park. If you
Mm.
can't walk on it, you shouldn't drive on it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because we every year we've seen those videos. You got you have pileups on top of pileups on top of pilots, and I just don't want to. I don't want to be part of that situation. And I've been in snow. I've driven, and I can't see not even 5 feet in front of me. So I've been in those situations before, and you'll see these videos on YouTube where these guys can barely see anything, and all of a sudden, boom, there's a trailer right in front of them out of nowhere. Got no time to react, no nothing, and and we also see videos people just standing by on the side of the bank, and they're trying to wave down people. They can't see them, and you just see just trucks one after another just railroad right into the back of them, cars
Mhm.
smashing into each other and stuff. If I can't see, I'm not doing it. If I have to chain, it's not worth my life, especially with these
Well,
rates nowadays, man. It is definitely not worth it at all whatsoever.
and while we got a couple of minutes to kill while James is gone, we probably should talk about this too, about the importance of having some extra food and water on your truck.
Absolutely.
So if you get snowed in somewhere, a couple extra blankets, a heavy coat, you just never know. Extreme heat and extreme cold is when your belts are going to break, when your hoses are going to break. And you need to have these supplies because you're not going to be the only one broke down during that time. And it may be a while before a repair guy can get to you.
It's
So make
always
sure you
good to
got.
have some tools, right?
I just went to the grocery store and bought some soup and stuff to have in here just in case
Non-perishable
I got.
items are also, yep.
I
Got you.
usually carry a couple of gallons of water, things like that. Just, I know you hear it every year, but it's good to remind everybody to have those supplies just in case, even if you're in a brand new truck. All right, James is back.
Millis hauls beer, paper, and glass. So Alaska Hall says, Todd, you and Jason have no hard feelings.
Not that I know of. I don't have any hate or discontent for everybody, for anybody. You got the conversation you're referring to was like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. And no, I wish them the best. I think some things they do are comical, and I'm sure they think some things I do are comical. But I wish them the best. I hope every single person's doing well.
So Charles Spray says, I've been driving a truck for 35 years. I've never thrown chains, and I'm not going to. I've
I'm with
done
you
it
on
one
that one
time,
100%.
and they're
I
not
don't even
fun.
want to learn how to put them on. I'm not joking with you. I don't want no
So
reason to
I,
haul them.
I tell you what, when I lived in Kansas, I worked for a FedEx contractor, a ground contractor, and they had Kenworth T680s, and back then they were brand new. They were 19s and 20s, but they had the automatic chains they sprayed them out. You know what I'm talking about? The automatic chains on trucks.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually pretty cool. Honestly, I didn't throw chains, but I actually activated the chains with that. And that was very interesting to see that. If nobody's ever seen it. Now imagine you're at Prime as a trainer. Your trainer is driving. You're sleeping, and it's bad weather. No way, no how. So I got a story for you on that one, Tom. I got a buddy of mine that when I first got started in trucking years ago, he was actually at Prime and he was a trainer and he was in the process of doing their lease purchase. Back then, it was the Peterbilt 587, I think. It was the one before the 579 that's there now. It was the older truck. I'm going back to 2012, 2013.
You talking about the ugly looking Peterbilts?
Yeah, the one that looks like like a helmet.
It's all bloated and whatnot.
Yeah, the one that looks like a helmet. But anyway, he had that truck. He was in the process of buying it. It was the middle of the night in the snow. And again, I don't know what state they were at, but his driver, he was sleeping. They were at the point to where they were operating as a team. And again, this kind of goes with, what you guys were talking about. The guy probably was only there, a month, maybe 2 months of driving, just got his CDL. And I don't know if I would be sleeping in the snow, but unfortunately my buddy was. He was back and sleeping, and guy lost control of the truck, rolled it over, killed the driver, which was the trainee, and my buddy was sleeping in the back. He was tossed about 60 yards from his truck, and he was unconscious for several hours before I say several hours, but he was in kind of a coma, I guess, when they took him to the hospital, and it was several days before he actually woke up. And that's how he woke up, was in the middle of the snow, or, in the hospital from the snow and shit. What an interesting story that was when he told me that. Charlie, grab a case of MREs and throw them under your bunk.
I would love to have some MREs.
Mm-hmm. I still have a pack of MRE that I bought like a year ago, still sitting in the truck.
Where do you buy them at? Like in an Army surplus, or where can you buy them?
Yep, buy them at the surplus.
You can go online. You can go online at that Freedom store. I can't remember the website.
Patriot. Is it Patriot that has the 25 years worth of food?
Yeah. Sometimes when I see them on the side of the road, if it's big enough an area where I could like park the truck and walk down there, just go there and check them out. And they got MREs. I'll pick a couple of them up.
So Last Call says he saw you in the comments asking questions.
Okay, so that's let's talk about that for a second. I watch a lot of people's videos, and during the course of videos, if I got a question, of course I'm going to post it down there. It doesn't mean that I support the channel or I don't support the channel. It just means I had a question I was curious about. In that particular video, they were talking about their income and they were using hypothetical numbers. And I basically asked them why they don't do like what James suggested he's going to do and show actual settlements over a certain period of time. And they took it that I was trolling them and got offended. And I wasn't trolling them. I was curious. I also asked why they wouldn't show Tim's settlements, because they made a big deal out of saying
I think I seen that comment too.
Yeah, and they got all wound up. And I even said in the first comment, this is not a troll comment. I'm genuinely curious. You keep saying that you're giving Tim 50%. Why don't you show Tim's settlements? And you keep saying, well, if I ran this many miles, I'd make this. And if I ran this many miles, I'd make this. Those are hypotheticals. Why don't you show your real numbers? But that doesn't mean I support their channel or I'm against their channel or I'm trolling them. I'm genuinely curious why they don't do what's considered the standard in YouTube. Most people, the reason people believed me when I was at Swift is I showed my actual settlements on the screen. And some people liked it, some people hated it, but you couldn't deny that it was my actual settlement. And so, yeah, I commented on one of their videos.
Buffalo's getting hit with lake snow Be prepared. I was watching the game, man. The game there, crazy. Charlie says I ran an account way back that if the road was open or was contractually bound to drive, I used to throw change 3 or 4 times a day running Washington north to northbound and Wisconsin and Oregon. I'm assuming that's Wisconsin. Did that for 3 or 4 years.
Who is Jeff running for now?
He's at Panther.
Yep. He's
Oh
at
man,
Panther with that beautiful Western star.
he's a smart guy. I think he'd be a guy that would do real good here at SRO.
Never had any real issues, but that stuff wears you out. Of course, Midlife says you can buy MREs online.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
Don't drive as much as you used to. What
There
Michael
should be a
says.
bunch of them in Texas, yeah.
Compensation
The
videos need
Army
to be
Surplus
clear,
store.
concise, and brief. I've got it down to under 3 minutes. I have done them since 2019 when I started. Midlife, the reason I went to Christensen's because of the videos you did. I liked it. You were still there when I was there.
Open the kimono and show it off.
He's with the small fleet running at Panther.
Uh,
We're actually caught up to the
Or-
comment.
I mean, him and Charlie both are very knowledgeable. If Charlie wanted to revive that Freightliner that he's got at his house, they
Chewy.
should really look at SRO. I don't mean that negatively. I know it needed some work. I don't even know what it needed, but
You need to
he
put
had a
some
name
air
for it.
ride. You put some
What did he
air ride
name
on
that
the front,
truck?
Chewy.
Chewy.
Chewy,
yeah.
that's it.
All he got to do is throw some air ride on the front and the back of that truck and get some Bostrom seats. It'll be
Yeah.
riding like new, man.
Yeah,
So
and
who-
he'll be.
Here's a question, last call. Would you guys have the Brokeback Boys on this live? You know, I don't know,
We
man.
don't have to call him.
Sure, why not?
I swear, I'm keeping my thoughts to myself because I didn't know everybody else thought the same thing, but I'm just trying to sit here, just keep my thoughts to myself, keep it a little professional. But the answer to the question is, why not?
Yeah, I'd
Well,
bring them.
I've done 4 roundtables with them. I think I'm good, but I'd watch if y'all did a roundtable with them.
I would have them on. I don't want to call it a round table because that's what they called it, but mine's the truck and shit show.
Hey,
We
we're
really
at
made
the end of the
shit
day, we're
show
out
with them.
here to just talk and have a conversation and get a better understanding of what's going on. I mean, that's just what it is. So,
So Midlife says he loves those Western stars, but that's not an option for this old guy. Now Riley makes a funny comment. Says that Jason Poten, that gay cowboy.
Oh
Yeah, I
man.
didn't say that, man.
Please leave
I
these
didn't
people
say that.
alone, man. I am trying to keep my intrusive thoughts from being intrusive, okay?
Yeah, because I know tomorrow morning I'm going to see clips of this all over YouTube.
Oh man, dude.
You think so?
You know that
Oh,
guy
yeah.
that keeps that stays trolling him every minute. As soon as they post a video, like 10 minutes later, he's putting a reaction video up about him
Yep.
and stuff like that.
I don't see how everybody does it. Like, I don't have enough hours in a day to watch everybody's videos and make response videos and troll videos. I don't see how they do it.
Hey, some people just have the time of the day that we don't have. That's quite all right.
Yes.
So Keith says, is Western Star higher end version of Freightliner?
Allegedly.
Yeah, I guess it kind of is into a sense. I mean, it is it once back in the day, Western Star was a whole separate truck. It was nothing to do with Freightliner, but that's been years and years ago until Freightliner bought them out.
Basically a Freightliner in a pretty dress. The interiors are nice, wood grain cabinets.
Yeah, it's all
They're
the
nice.
same. It's all the same when you look at it, especially the new one.
Yeah, it's
It
that particle board stuff.
Man, it's all the same. I do like those big ass windows they got on the side
Yeah,
truck.
the
I'm like,
new
why they
one
can't
looks
put
just
that
like
on the
a
Freightliners? Yeah, the new
The
one
new
has
one looks
those-
just like a Cascadia. You know it?
The new one is exactly what it is, a Cascadia with a pig nose. That's
We
what
barely
it is.
have enough time to do what we do, but I watch the
The
Drama.
damn drama.
drama on here. Yeah, I got you. I got you on the drama. Speaking of which, Charlie, those new Peterbilts and new Volvos look really nice that they put up on Swift's Facebook page. Really like.
I
the
don't
Volvo.
watch, but a lot of people send me clips and then I end up having to watch because they'll be like, did you see this? Did you see that?
Uh,
And but I try to stay out of it because kind of the garbage in, garbage out type thing. You got to be careful what you put in your brain and what you spend your time focusing on.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Western Star is the exact same truck as a Freightliner, just a different hood.
That's not true. The interiors are different. The dash, the gauges.
No,
So
the
Charlie
the new
says,
one, the new Dash is still it's the same as the new Freightliners.
Well,
Charlie
the
says
last,
yes to Volvo, but pass on the Pete.
well, then I must not have seen the latest one because the last Western Star I saw, the dash was a lot different than a Freightliner.
I
You
think you're
pull
looking
one
at you think you're a member of the
previous body
5700.
style.
Yeah, the previous body style. Yeah, the new ones it's the same thing. The cabinets are probably different how they set them up and everything else, but the controls, everything else still the same. You look at the truck on the outside versus with the Cascadia, and it's like, well, that sure is an ugly ass Cascadia when you look at it before you see that big old W on the hood.
Oh, I agree with you. The new one is a lot more Freightliner like.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
Charlie
like the
says
previous body style better.
one of the guys will be testing the new Volvo as a contractor. Raymond says he's driven both, and Keith says a Swift getting 579s. I think they're testing
Yep.
579s. I don't know if
They
they're
got
actually getting them.
they got a couple of them in.
The new Cascadia has an exact twin with the Western Star inside and out.
And then on top of that, Cascade Freightliner just pulled out a new Cascadia that's coming out next year. Or at the end of this, I think it comes out the end of this around this time of the month, something.
So Alaska says, I actually enjoy watching those two clowns, especially reading their comments. You know, I'm kind of with you there, Alaska. I enjoy watching them too. I like watching what comedy they put in. I think most of us have that same kind of, waiting to see them fail type attitude, I guess, more or less. So Charlie says they're getting 50 Pete's, and only company drivers are getting the Pete's.
That sucks.
They are the same under the body, the same motor, different interior until you have to replace things. Yeah. Yeah, I would imagine that it's got the name Western Star on it, that it'd be a little bit more pricey.
Yeah, it's like having a Mac and that Mac and a Volvo, and then taking your Mac to the Volvo dealership. Might be cheaper to take it to the Volvo dealership than the Mac. Same part, different part number, all fit the same. Part might be green but not red. You know.
And guys, we were up to like 70 something people at one time. We still got 50 people in here. Hit the thumbs up, guys. Get the algorithm
Doing
out.
decent.
Yeah, and
Subscribe
go
if you're not
subscribe to
subscribed.
all 3 channels.
Yeah. Subscribe to all 3 of our channels.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and put them up
For you
while we're
new
sitting here.
guys watching tonight, first timers or whatever, we try to do this every Sunday at 7. Like I said earlier, I haven't put any new content out in a while just because I just really, number one, I've been busy trying to figure the game out a little bit, and also just wanted to make sure things were good before I start bringing people over here or we're trying to recruit. I think things are going to be good, and again, I think things are really going to be good once the market changes a little bit. There are rules to leasing. Rule number 1, the asset rule. Number 2, self-dispatch rule. 3, know your numbers. Yep. Control the asset. Okay. He says, you get a pass on content since you host the shit show, James. I hear you. I will put some content out. I need to do that soon. So Raymond's making some comments here that I was going to talk about. Daimler owns Detroit, Western Star, and Freightliner. Yeah, they've owned them for quite a few years. That's one of the, and believe it or not, those 3 are the 3 that Daimler actually kept. They got rid of Chrysler and all their products because at one time Chrysler was a part of the Daimler brand. Unfortunately, I think Chrysler made the worst. Well, when they were with Fiat, they were really doing good, but now they're with Stellantis or whatever it's called. They're really going under. There's a lot of issues. and they're changing their whole model line around, and a lot of car companies are doing that right now because of the electrification bullshit that they're trying to do. So Keith says 18 does not. He needs to get some content moving.
You guys are gonna leave me alone, man. I got stuff working, man. I got stuff working on. I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it. Like I said, I've been pretty busy for the last couple of weeks. Um, just getting stuff done.
So Alaska made a
But
comment
like I
here. He
said, I
says,
got the truck back, and so we're gonna have content coming out. You know.
Alaska says you don't have to worry about the market when you're working for Hirschbach. You always got $1 a mile and pay 99 cents for fuel.
Huh.
Oh man, you're making a penny a mile. That's funny. Hey, 18 has a great shock video.
Hey, go
Charlie,
check it out. You got a Freightliner.
I talk about 18 all the time in his videos. I love his comedy, the way he puts his editing and everything together. I wish he would do more of them. I tell him all the time that he needs to do more. But just like all of us, it's more time. We
It's
try
time
to
consuming, and
balance everything out.
you got stuff. We all have different things going on, whether it's at home, at work,
Yep.
whatever is going on, and sometimes those things take priority over entertaining you guys per se.
Right.
And sometimes we just got to take care of what we got going on first before we handle everything else. So that's just usually what the play is. That's usually what it comes down to it. So,
Speaking of which, Charlie and Jeff, man, they've been doing their show for, I don't know if it's 2 or if it's 3 years, but guys, you've
and
been
they
putting
have
on a show
never
every.
missed a week.
Yeah, they
So I
haven't missed
really
a
don't
week.
understand why we have any excuses, because they've never missed a week, man.
Well, we've only missed 1 week in the last 3 or 4 months.
Yeah,
That's
but I
pretty.
love what like I said, I'm no longer a Swifty, but I love watching that show, man.
But
I love getting on Charlie's show, man.
well, just as well as I do, and Todd can say the same thing too. Even when Poppy was on here, we always talk good things about Swift. It's a great place to go to learn and to get started and to finish with. Really, honestly, there's nothing wrong with Swift.
I did
Rig
post links. It didn't show up. I posted them on.
posted up. Rig Pig
on-
said thought 18 was going to post links.
I did post links. There
I
were
saw
links.
your link for your channel, but
No,
that
that
was
was
you.
you. That was for Todd's channel. I
Oh, I
posted the
see
link.
Oh,
Todd's.
I
I got
didn't
Yeah,
see it.
I posted Todd's link's channel on your live, and then I posted my link and your link on Todd's live. I don't know if
so
you guys
Oh.
saw that. Yeah.
Keith says 18 does some awesome editing. He is definitely capable of making quality content. I agree with you. So
And
Charlie
yeah,
says
and
it's
that's
never
another thing
missed.
too. Like that's another thing too. Like when I do post something, I do at least want to have something that we all can learn from. And as well, I don't want it to be choppy as well too. I do like to put a little work into it because I actually enjoy editing my videos, and I like seeing what I create. So if it's been a minute since I post something, trust me, I don't want to give you guys something retarded.
So Alaska Hall says you guys are sleeping on Amazon. Crazy rates right now. Park my reefer for 2 months. It's funny that you said that because that's one of the things I'm going to be looking at really hard here in the next couple of weeks is Amazon stuff, just because of that. So Charlie said Jeff is missed. LOL. And Rig Pig said he's on Todd's. Emil Gonzalez says, "Hey, I'm considering going to SFI.
Thanks, Rig.
I'm just stuck between JB Hunt and Landstar."
Well, I did post it. Well, I don't see the blue links on Taz. Maybe because I might not be allowed to post links on there. Maybe I don't know,
I
but
don't think I've got it blocked. Let me look real quick.
So
it's showing
18,
on
it's
there.
up to 18. It's up to you. But here's somebody wanting to go to Landstar. I would not go to JB Hunt, Emil. To be honest with you. So if you want to put your information out there so he can get a hold of you, feel free, man.
I'll tell you guys what. If you have any questions that you want to know about Landstar, you want to get in contact with me somehow, you can reach me at my business email. It's Sweets. That's SWEETS TESLLC@icloud.com. And you guys can shoot me whatever messages that you want. And from there, I might give you guys my business phone number, and then we can chop it up from there. Let's see how that goes.
And you can always get a hold of him through me too if need to be. I'll be more than
Likewise.
happy to patch you guys up.
Likewise.
I always put my phone number at the in the description.
So I don't
Charlie
know. I
says,
don't think I have a block on links, but I don't know where to look.
Charlie says he's been doing it for 3 years and they have yet to miss a week. Good night, Michael.
Good night, Michael.
Mark says he's picking up Amazon now. He's got 1,250 to go to Newcomer Town, Ohio, to Detroit.
How many miles is that? Like, 200 miles, give or take, or something? 300 miles?
Probably about that. I don't know where Newcomer's Town, Ohio is off the top of my head.
Let me see. That is one. That's an interesting name for a town.
Newcomer's Town, Ohio?
Yep. Don't follow me down this rabbit hole. It's okay. Go to the next comment.
Hey, Todd, it's typical not allowed to post links unless they have mod power.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, then let me just tell everybody, if you're looking for Trucker Todd, I'm on pretty much all the social media platforms. Just go in there and type Trucker Todd and you'll find me.
I told both of you two, you guys need to have a tagline, you know.
Mine's
mine
is at Life on 18 Wheels.
Well, mine is I Am the Fly Rabbit. You put that in your YouTube search and it pulls my channel right up.
Well, you put Trucker Todd in anywhere and it comes up pretty quick now.
So that's 255 miles for $1,250.
About $4 a mile, buddy. Over $4 a mile. He said 211 miles. That's pretty good rates, man. Still got 45 people on here after 2 hours, man. That's pretty good. Todd, put your hat back on. You look like a penis with ears. Just joking.
Well, it got hot in here. I guess I can put it back on, but
there are a dozen different violations of Life on 18 Wheels.
Variation. That's because you spelled it wrong. It's Life on 18 Wheels, on all one word, no spaces. No spaces whatsoever.
He's got another
word.
Channel. He's got another channel called Shiny Side Up too, which is good.
Well, we're not going to talk about that one, but
yeah, because there hasn't been a video done in more than a year or audio. It was the interview with me.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone. We're at Life on 18 Wheels here. Okay. All one word, Life on 18 Wheels. If you want to look me up, no spaces, no nothing. Spelled just the same way Keith did, but no spaces. And I will be the first one that pops up this time. I did look it up, and I've
got over 60 videos on my channel now. You know that? I was looking at that the other day, and I'm like, wow, 60 videos.
Landon, I appreciate
you, Landon.
Subscription, man. Thank you.
So I think I'm close to 700 videos now.
How many years you been doing it?
Seriously, not seriously, maybe 3 seriously. I was doing a little, no, longer than that, probably 4. I never gone back. I think I'd have to go back and look, because I did the way the channel started was I was selling cars, and I did some really awful videos where I was showing cars that nobody watched. And then I got mad at a body shop, and that's where I actually started the channel. But I'd have to go back and look and see. I guess I can do that while y'all are talking.
I hope you didn't call him a bald-headed bitch.
It's my baby girl. It's my baby girl. It's my dog Mocha. Hi, sweetie. She's a good girl.
How old is she?
Don't really know for sure. We got her from the pound, from the sheriff's office here that has their own pound or whatever, and she's probably about 4, I'd say 4 or 5.
4. Okay.
Yeah, she's a good dog. She's a good puppy.
I guess I've been on longer than I thought.
I was gonna say, I think you're pushing about 5 or 6 years, buddy.
I'm at 5. Well, and it doesn't show that really old one. I did one at Trucks for You out of Muskogee 5 years ago. So about 5 years.
Yeah, I
Okay.
said that the other day, Alaska. It looks like you said you lost about 50 pounds. I think you've lost more than that.
So I started off at 312. I'm at 230 right now. So it's about 80 something pounds over the last few years. I'm on Monjaro right now. I was taking Ozempic and I kind of plateaued, and then my doctor switched me to Monjaro, and I'm still losing weight. Want to get around to about 210 or 200, but I appreciate that.
So Emil here is saying the same thing he said before. He's trying to decide between JB or Landstar. Stay away from JB. Go to Landstar if you're going to do that, or go to F2F, one of the other two companies. So Extra CDXHFG Extra says coming to F2F soon, considering the 72-28 split, but not sure if I won't have the freedom. Extra, if you want to, give me a ring. I'm gonna put my phone number up here for a second. Give me a call. I'll be more than happy to explain all the different ways you can come over here. They've got like 4 options. You can go all the way up to an 80-20 split, or you can go down to a 75-25, which is what I'm on. And then there's a 72-28, like you said. So there's several different options. I'll be more than happy to go over it with you if you'd like. Let's see here. Raymond says, I need to find 18's channel.
I put it all right there in the comments. That's how you just spell it out just that way. First channel you see it, that's gonna be me there.
And for some reason, too, the capitals have to be there, too, because I did the same thing. For whatever reason, the way he's got it set up.
Well, not necessarily if you spell it. I mean,
I couldn't
that is
find
how
it.
that is how I have it spelled. At Life on 18 Wheels like that, and you'll find it that way.
So the money must be good when your dog has a pearl necklace. Must be nice. Yeah, well, I got news for you. I hope you're being clean about that pearl necklace, but that's not a real pearl necklace. She's just a good baby girl. Life on 18 Wheels, all one word. Subbed up, thanks.
Thanks, Rig Pig.
No problem, man. Thank you.
Last call. Did you guys see the video of the driver's lounge roasting country? No, I didn't see that. I don't know if I want to see that.
Who's roasting our buddy?
Yeah, what driver's lounge is that? You got to tell us if we need to see it.
Yeah, send the link.
I meant jewelry, not ZZ Top definition. Okay, good deal, Keith.
Wait, what's the ZZ Top definition?
You wouldn't know because you're not a ZZ Top guy. Pearl necklace. They did a song called Pearl Necklace years ago. You know what a pearl necklace is?
Are we talking about like a sexual innuendo type? Oh,
yes.
Yeah, I know what a pearl necklace is.
Okay, well, you act like you didn't know who ZZ Top was. So.
I don't know who ZZ Top is. No.
You don't know who ZZ Top is?
No.
They sing Sharp Dressed Man and Legs, and you hadn't heard their songs?
It's a little band from Texas.
I probably do, but I never heard. Are they like an old band or something?
Yes.
Yeah, but they're pretty damn big. I mean,
are they like a boomer band or something like that?
Buddy, we're not boomers, okay? Boomers is from the 50s and 60s, brother. I got your boomer in my ass. So Mark Healy sub to us. His name on YouTube is Driver's Lounge. I'll have to check that out.
I'm looking that up right now.
Thanks for subbing, Mark.
Yeah, Extra. Give me a call tomorrow. Honestly, you can call me anytime tomorrow after about 9 a.m. I'll be driving. Keith says, unfortunately, we lost one a couple years ago. Yeah, I lost one last week myself. I've had 3 that I've lost in the last 2 years.
I've seen one of his videos.
What's it called again? Extra what?
Driver's Lounge.
Driver's Lounge.
I'm guessing he made a video talking about SFI lease. Well, I guess that's something I get to watch while I go get me some food later on. Dusty Hill, R.I.P. man. R.I.P. to Dusty, man. I'm sure he was a great companion.
So we're going to have to find the video about country. Oh, I've seen this guy before.
Yeah, it's the same thing I said because I've seen a couple of his videos or got that red line on the bottom, so I know I've watched a couple of his videos before. But
Well,
I
he's
took
only
a look
got
at his.
619 subscribers, so there's not too many people that are watching him. So
Well, damn.
So is it
well,
the video where he talks about the SFI lease?
I'm
yeah,
assuming that's
yeah,
what
that's
that
him.
is.
His
I'm
little
assuming that.
avatar has an orange Peterbilt on it.
Yeah.
Well, let me. I think we found it. I think we found it.
Yeah, I think he blasts the country over his pay settlements. You know, country was talking about that a couple videos back, and you know what? Here's the thing, man. You know, everybody needs to mind their own freaking business, man. You know, that's the thing.
At
It
the end of
doesn't.
the day,
As
at the
long
end
as
of the
you're
day,
doing what you need to be doing and you're making money, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter how you go about getting a truck or how you go about doing your business. As long as you're making money and you're successful and you like what you're doing, and country situation is completely different than ours. He has no expenses other than his truck. He lives on the road. He's not
he
married. Not that
doesn't
I'm trying to
smoke.
give away any of his personal information, but what he does is fine for him. And like he always says, money never triggers what he needs or wants to do. You know,
At
unfortunately,
the end of the day,
we
and
all
as long
need
as
to
it
love
ain't
each
that
other.
super
Man.
ego, as long
We're
as you
all
ain't
we're
that
all in
super
it
ego,
together.
you should be okay. You might get railroaded, but at least you'll be okay as long as you're not at super ego. Let's see. Well, I gotta wait for him to come put the comments back up here for a second.
I'm coming. I don't understand why people have to get into everybody's business all the time. Doesn't make. He says, "Yeah, you're correct." Let me go back to this comment. Oh, I already read that one. Okay. Lasco Hall, he made some good points besides the pay settlements, but those settlements are horribly honestly. Yeah, he's me and him's talked about that in the past. He's not in again, Schneider's not the best company to make money at, but in his aspect, it is a good company. They take care of him on other things. It's not always about the money, especially when you're in a situation that he's in. His situation is completely different than all of our
And you
situations.
gotta remember it's an SFI truck too. You're not gonna
Yeah,
be expecting you're gonna make some money, but don't expect that
yeah, you're
you're
not going to make a
deducting
million bucks.
right.
It would be nice if everyone did their own thing and just got along. Unfortunately, there are too many people who just want to watch the world burn. Yeah, 100% right.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, remember guys, those are the ones that you get the most views on. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Green Eye Entertainment. What's going on, guys? What's up,
how you
buddy?
doing, man?
In my opinion, it's about happiness on the road. I know how I will make my money. Yep. And you know what? I agree with you. That's you. You got to hustle and you got to do what's right for you. Integrity is most important. That is correct. Well, you got some good guys that follow you, Todd, Mark, and
I
a lot of
do.
these
They're
guys.
they're
Keith.
loyal and they're good people. That's another good thing about coming out on the road. I hope to meet more of them. I've got a lot of really good people that watch my channel.
So
Hmm.
speaking of meeting people on the road and stuff, so what we were talking about before you came in earlier, 18 before we went live, we need to come up with a plan for the truck show here for next year and get things together so we can try to meet some of these people, have some
I
kind
would
of meet and greet.
I am making it my business to be at Mid America
Well, we
next
need
year.
to figure out a way. And with me being from that area, from Louisville, I'll figure out a place. If we can get some type of an idea of how many people are going to be there, maybe we can get not necessarily pay for a room or anything like that, but maybe we can reserve a restaurant in like a party room or something and get all of us together and meet somehow.
Hmm.
As long as I can get an accurate amount of how many people are going to come.
You planning on going next year, Todd?
He's going.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm gonna have media credentials, so I'll be doing some media stuff there, but I'll still hang out with you guys and stuff too.
Now, how do
The
you get
mistake.
the? Because that's something that I'd like to get as well. The media credentials as well too.
We'll
So
talk about that.
you
Yeah.
go to the website and apply, but you've got to. They're pretty strict qualifications. My YouTube channel didn't qualify, but my Instagram was big enough that I qualified.
Okay.
I've
Okay.
got almost 30,000 on Instagram.
Oh well.
And so that with my YouTube and the TikTok and everything is what qualified me. So you just have to apply and see if they accept you or not.
So
Okay.
Last Hall here made a comment. I think he does care about the money. He just won't admit it on YouTube. What's the point of living in a truck and just paying for food and truck payment? So with that being said, that is not true at all. He really does not care about the money. What he is doing is the way he likes to live. It's got nothing to do about paying for food and a truck payment. I can
I think a
promise
lot
you
of
that.
people. I think a lot of people have a hard time believing that
Yeah,
this is a lifestyle for some people.
yeah,
It doesn't matter, So some people, this is what's just ingrained in them, whether their dad did it or it's their first time doing it or anything like that. Some people just like being on the road. It doesn't really matter how much the money that they're making. They're just a regular old truck driver. That's what I would
yeah.
consider him
And
as.
the thing is with country, what he tells you is 100% truth. He doesn't have a reason to give you guys any story about anything. He could care less what you believe. He just does it for the entertainment value for you guys. He he really doesn't care about the money. Now, of course, we all know we need to make money. That's a given. But he really does not care about the money as long as his bills are paid and he can survive. That's all he really cares about.
Hmm.
And that's the truth. So Riley says it's bedtime. It's about bedtime for me too, buddy. Good night. Glad you joined us. He says you can't possibly know his perspective or his intentions, Alaska. Oh, this is the perfect time to learn to mind your own business. Well, I
Wow.
didn't want to put it that way. I was just kind of saying to you, Alaska, that what he tells you is 100% truth. He's a stand-up guy. I've got no issues with him, and he
Absolutely, you really
he has
can't
no
stand up
reason to
wrong.
hide anything. No problem, Emil. Have a good night. Keith, I wish I could say I was loyal to Trucker Todd, but honestly, I didn't attend any of your lives since your stroke.
Yeah, we did have some that stepped off when the stroke happened, and I'm kind of curious why. If you don't mind either telling me in here or emailing me, let me know why when I had the stroke you disappeared. I'm
You know,
genuinely curious.
Todd, me and you made and again, I stuck behind you. I watched your videos and stuff, but a lot of people, and I even told you this once before, but you remember when we went to the truck show 2 years ago, and the one comment you made to me that kind of stuck, and this is way before I had a YouTube channel or even said anything. You told me, and I said, hey, Todd, you're making enough, off of referrals. Why would you even drive? Because I have to be a legit truck driver to show people how to do these things because if I'm not driving a truck anymore, I become not relevant. And I think that's kind of what happened to a lot because you did all your lives. You were doing, there's no big secret. You worked for AT&T. You did your regular job and all that. People just didn't care because you really wasn't relevant in the trucking world. Now that you're coming back, people want to jump back in, and that's fine and
It's a
dandy. But
trucking thing.
you
Yep.
you made that comment, and that's the
Yeah,
truth, unfortunately.
that may be it. I just like to hear different opinions of why people do what they do. I watch those murder shows for the same reason. I watch them to see why people kill, why people kidnap. I'm curious why people behave the way they behave.
So let me read some of these
Well, you
comments.
got a trucking channel, and that's what we pretty much want to watch. If you're not making trucking content, then you know that's another point with that other guy that we are talking about. He gave his truck back and he went to go working at the cruise ship. He totally fell off the map. Like, was
And
not
You talking
interested in
about
watching
Alex?
any of his stuff. So
he's trying to jump back on the bandwagon too,
now I'm
Waylon.
talking about Waylon.
Oh, Waylon.
Yeah.
So let me read these last few comments, guys, and we're going to kind of cut it short here because I want to spend some time with the family before I leave. Mark says, my dad started in 1927, horse carriage and buggy delivering ice. That's a
Wow.
long time
Ice and
ago.
cold.
Raymond says, if rates go back up, I may go back over the road, but for right now, I'm happy feeding chickens for $1,800 a week. Alaska says, I can see in his videos when he almost got a good week, he gets excited. I mean, who doesn't get excited when you have a good week? That's the truth on that. He said he didn't disappear. I just didn't attend the lives. I watched the replays and other videos.
Ah, okay. Well, I'm glad you hung around.
So Keith says, when you put life on YouTube, expect to be criticized. Yeah, I can understand
Absolutely.
that.
100% agree.
So Keith, honestly, I'm just a singular focused guy getting back into trucking after a decade at home. I just haven't consumed any content that isn't trucking related. That makes sense. It's kind of like I said,
That's
not really
fair.
related. Yeah. Racing says, Racing Races, hey, don't be making fun of us boomers. This guy right down here in the bottom corner, he's the one that's making fun of boomers, not me and Todd. Nathan says, after 20 years of trucking, for me, I keep my life simple. I live 5 acres of land and travel. I just don't like having bills. Of course, Alaska, because unfortunately, there are too many people who just want to watch the world burn. Mark said, good night, guys. Love y'all. Be safe.
Like I said,
Race and
watching the
Ray.
world burns, watching the world burns brings
Good
content.
night,
That's what
Mark.
people want to see.
ZZ Top is my band, a little band from Texas. I can't believe you've never heard of ZZ Top, man. That makes
I
me feel
mean, I've
real low.
heard their name. I don't think I
Man,
ever heard any of their music
the only
before.
thing you've ever heard of is Ariana Grande and people like that of today's world, man. Jesus.
I am
And
not
get you some
that young.
culture, man.
I
Go
am
back and
not
get
that.
some
I am
culture.
not that young. Okay. Plus, my genre of music is not something normally that you guys would listen to, anyways. And I'm not talking about hip hop and rap because that's not my type of.
What do
What's
you
I mean, I
listen to?
listen to
yeah, what's your genre?
reggae, soca,
Okay.
dancehall. You know that I'm from the Caribbean, so that's where my jam is. That's where my mix is. So yeah, that's what I normally listen to.
Baby. Here's my kitty cat. This is Mooney. I don't know if he'll look or not, but
And who's that lady over there handing you a kitty cat?
my wife. You didn't see my wife earlier? Up over
You
here.
know,
She don't want to get on now, so there she goes. It's my wife, Nicole.
hey Nicole.
Take my booty back. Bye, baby. Bye, baby. All right, let me get these last couple comments. Here's Ted Vanderbursk. He been on there. Hey,
How
Todd. The
dare
rest of you
you?
all out there.
How dare you, Charlie?
Hey,
18 is
Ted.
super
I am
generation,
not a
dude.
beaver.
Yep.
I am not a believer.
That's the truth. All right, guys, we're caught up on the comments. You guys have a good night. I guess we'll cut her here.
All right, man. You guys have a good one. I am
Opinions are
so
like
glad,
assholes. Everybody
so
has
glad that
them.
we finally had this show tonight, man.
I am too. It's a good show.
All
Finally
right.
got a
Good
chance
night,
to
everybody.
All
mix it
right,
up with
Todd.
Trucker
All
Todd.
right, 18.
We'll
Be
see
good,
you.
guys.
I'm going to get back to it. Bye.
All right. Good night.